Homecoming in Logan, Utah. It's a full family affair, pets included. A chance to ride off into the moonlights here on a Friday night. College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. San Jose State, Utah State from scenic Logan. Here's a look at the Mountain West standings. Both teams 1-1 in conference. Still a ways to go in this league. It's going to be a long night, along with Kyle Long, all-pro offensive lineman. I'm Chris Lewis, and this could be a long night for these defenses in this game. Two of the most productive big play offenses in this league. Could be a lot of points. Yeah, they got to tackle well on defense, and I hope they drank their Gatorade all week because they're going to be chasing some stars around. Both defenses chasing some stars around. Big-time quarterback play, big-time receiver play for both of these units. The brightest star on a Friday night is on San Jose State's side. Danny Scudero, the nation's leading receiver. I've been saying it all week. You play this Spartan football team, it's an open note test, and the ball's going to number 10, Danny Scudero. Do everything, anytime, anywhere. He's tough, he's quick, he's fast, high football IQ. No wonder Walker Egan continues to throw him the football. Very productive, Chris. Well, he's dynamic. So is Bryson Barnes, the quarterback for Utah State. You know, different skill set here. This guy, Bryson Barnes, he has the ability to run that read option offense. He can run, he can throw. He's obviously tough. And I know his quarterback coach is probably saying, hey, buddy, let's stay off the ground. But he is exciting to watch, and so is both offenses in tonight's matchup. Yeah, we could see a lot of points. Barnes' coach is Bronco Mendenhall. These are two of the most experienced and accomplished coaches that the Mountain West has to offer. Bronco Mendenhall, top 5 in active coaches and wins. Of course, Ken Niumatalolo, his second year with San Jose State, had his long tenure at Navy where he was the winningest coach. This crowd's ready through the 50-degree night. It'll get into the 40s by the end of this game, but clear skies. You can see the sights of the Cache Valley in the distance of Maverick Stadium. It's the 43rd meeting all time. San Jose State won the last one, but Utah State before that won the prior 10. All right, Kyle, one final note before we get this started. For me, it's going to be starting out fast for this offense. And I think they can really set the tone for that San Jose State. That San Jose State offense can really set the tone early about how they're going to get this thing done. They got to protect the quarterback, and I think running the football will be the X factor if they have the ability to do that tonight, Chris. Well, Zachary Robbins kicks off for Utah State to get it started. Jahari Johnson lets it go through the end zone, and we're underway in Logan with San Jose State on offense and Walker Egan, who left the last game in the third quarter, returned with 2 minutes left. The team lost their lead against Wyoming, suffered the loss, but Egan has been putting up monster numbers. Yeah, and you got to think that they learned a lot about their quarterback when he came out of the game after being so prolific, getting back into the game, earning the respect of his offense. So we'll see. Left the game with an upper body injury, his shoulder. We'll see how that is on this opening drive. We'll begin for the 25. Jackson Kanan, the tight end in motion. He gives to Radcliffe on first down. A penalty marker in as he plows ahead towards the 33.
Holding, number 75, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
It's the center, Joseph Harbert, called for the hold. Not the way you want to start there, Chris. You get a good run to start this thing off. Next thing you know, you're getting called back. Not a great drive starter, but I like where their head's at. Running the football early, now you're behind the chains, Chris. Team that hasn't run the ball well this year. Their offense, they call it the spread and shred with offensive coordinator Craig Stutzman. A lot of passing attempts derived from the old run and shoot at Hawaii. Egan on first down, sails it high and incomplete. Racing towards the sideline. Chris Joe was in the area, and it brings up second down. Key matchup.
Couple key matchups here, Chris. And this guy, number 4, Kyrie Scholes, the receiver for San Jose State, he jumps off the film. Obviously, Scudero's the guy, but with him dinged up and all the eyes on him, I expect number 4, Kyrie Scholes, to have a big game on the defensive side of the ball. There's a ton of linebacker types on the field for Utah State. Tackling is going to be a premium tonight.
You mentioned it. Danny Scudero and Walker Egan were both questionable coming into this game, but both getting the start. Empty it out, 2nd down and 20. Egan sails over the middle, deflected and nearly intercepted, but they rule it incomplete. D'Angelo Mays almost was able to scoop it off the turf. And the Spartan receiver is still down.
That's a really tough way to start this game. You get a hold, you get a sailed fastball for Walker Egan. Now you got a player down.
And that's Scudero.
That's Danny Scudero. He got whacked right there in the back of the head while coming down. You can see there's 3 defenders bearing down on him. It's good to see him getting up here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 18, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic.
So they get Ike Larson, who's a story in his own right, suspended for the first 5 games of the year, made his return last week in Utah State's loss to Hawaii, and he gets called for the taunting penalty post-play.
Yeah, you know what? That's an excited young man who's making a big play on one of the biggest stars on this San Jose State offense. You got to think it's been bottled up. He hasn't been able to play. He's one of the most notable players on this defense. You got to let the guys play a little bit.
It was a violation of team rules back in mid-August with new coach Bronco Mendenhall laying down the suspension. 7 weeks in total. Again, returned last week. This is his first home game of the season.
And there was Chavez Soto on the carry, and in the meetings this week, they said, this guy's like baby Scatabo. Tough yards, short yardage, goal line type guy. We can see that this offense is trying to set the tone early, that we're not just going to sling the ball all over the yard today, Chris.
Well, the freshman picks up a couple. Somebody who was 4th string on the depth chart just a couple of weeks ago has risen with a couple of injuries and absences. Egan on 2nd and 8, darts to the far sideline. Leland Smith hauls it in. The Purdue transfer tiptoes along the sidelines. It gets close to around midfield. Mays knocks him out of bounds.
You know, there's only a handful of these guys that get described as freaks on every football team. Leland Smith is a freak. He passes what we call the eyeball test. And I'll tell you what, right there, Walker Egan going outside the numbers. Big time throw, big time catch. Get that guy started early. You might need him here.
Well, Danny Scudero, Kyle, is back in for San Jose State. He's in the slot near side of the screen.
Where's Waldo, is what we would say. Find that guy.
From the 47. You get to the tight end over the middle. Keenan has it knocked away and incomplete. John Miller, the linebacker, running step for step.
Yeah, and they love this guy, John Miller. We asked the coaching staff from Utah State about this young man. They said he's a do-everything type of player, a real football dude. They love him at Utah State. Great play, great coverage. Active. You see him at the line of scrimmage. You see him dropping back in coverage. There's a real versatility there, particularly in this multiple defense. 3-man front. You got a number of linebackers who can do anything.
J-Man leading the team in tackles at 53. Ratcliffe, the running back, 2nd and 10. Egan with plenty of time. Dangerous throw to the far sideline. Had a lot of heat on it before Mays came closing in on Scudero. But the nation's leading receiver makes the catch.
And that's what we call a heat check. Scudero obviously just went down a couple plays ago. You see Egan look to the right side of the field. Boom, snaps his eyes back to our guy Scudero. Strong hands, great catch.
Interesting to see how the Utah State defense approaches Scudero, especially on 3rd downs. He's by far the favorite target of Egan on 3rd. This is 3rd and short.
Now we got the prototypical size running back in the backfield, Lamar Ratcliffe, extremely talented. Let's see if he gets the football here in this short yardage.
And 6'1", 230, gets the handoff, gets the first down, and more. Marches inside the 30-yard line for a solid game. Rice and Taylor finally brought him down.
Doesn't have to be that complicated, man. Hand the ball to one of your horses and let them run. We saw the horses come out pregame, introing the players. It was ominous to say the least. We might have some running game tonight.
You were vibing hard in the pregame intros.
I'm a big horses with flag bearers guy.
It's homecoming in Logan. Crowd solid on a Friday night. And two great offenses. San Jose State on their opening drive. Ratcliffe again. Muscles through the initial line and gets inside the 25, close to the 21. Larson involved on the stop for Utah State.
So one thing that you notice about this offensive line here, they're moving as a unit. They roll like a wave to the left. And the right tackle, Nate Hale here, able to get just enough on that end man on the line of scrimmage, and Ratcliffe able to get those yards. You don't have to penetrate every time. Just move the dang thing and get this thing rolling on the ground.
We were talking before about the offensive line. San Jose State, a lot of smart guys on their O-line.
Yes, a lot of academic All-Americans, 4 to be exact.
Steve Chavez Soto burrows forward and gets near the line to gain, needed the 18.
Now, people watch this team, they watch Walker Egan, they watch Danny Scudero, and, you know, they can throw the football all over, but what I'm seeing tonight is they're making a conscious effort to run the football here. I love to see that early.
Tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. 59% touchdown percentage for San Jose State when they get close. Of course, Danny Scudero is always who you have to look out for. He's 8 touchdowns. It leads all receivers in the FBS. This is 3rd and 1. Egan looks left, throws that way, deflected, and knocked out of bounds and incomplete. He was going for Scudero, and Larson, the former All-Mountain West safety, was there.
Tell you what, these guys fly around. Bronco Mendenhall has a culture of hustle and teamwork, and you can see it here early for this defense. I mean, these guys are flying around here. No easy catches, no easy buckets is what we say in basketball, but same thing here for this defense.
All right, kicking has been a nightmare for San Jose State this season. This will be Dennis Lynch to kick this one. Lynch, a left-footed kicker. When the ball's lined up on the right hash, he'll be the one to kick field goals instead of Matthias Brown, who's their other kicker. Lynch gets it to go through. That's just his 5th make in 11 attempts this year. We'll detail more of the Spartan field goal troubles when we return. Coach Ken Niumatalolo said for San Jose State, the kicking's been the elephant in the room. You're seeing Dylan Lynch. He was demoted after he started the season as the kicker. He started the year 4 for 10 kicking field goals. You see him there making the field goal to get the scoring started here in Logan. So they benched Lynch and gave Matthias Brown a chance for a couple of weeks. Now Brown, his first 2 kicks, granted from 40+ last week against Wyoming, he missed both. So in practice this week, the idea was for Lynch, who's a left-footed kicker, more comfortable on the right side hash to kick field goals there, and Matthias Brown, who's a right-footed kicker, to kick when the ball's lined up closer to the left hash. You said, Niumatalolo, he's never done anything like this before, but they need to try something to get the kicking game going. This is a team that's been involved in 1-score games over and over again this season. First possession of the game coming up for Utah State and Bryson Barnes. The transfer from Utah, now at Utah State. 2nd year where he's getting looks as the starting quarterback, and last week against Hawaii showed his dual threat capabilities.
This guy really stresses the defense, sees the game well. I wish he would hand the ball off more, because you don't want your guy running that much. Takes a lot of hits.
He hands it off here to the sweeping Anthony Garcia, who's listed as a quarterback himself, but is used as a wide receiver, steps through a couple of tackles and gains 10 yards.
We got a number of these do-it-all athletes featured in this game tonight. And you know, you can see Garcia get hit here late, but it didn't look too bad, too violent over there. Let the kids play.
Miles Davis on first down gets a couple.
We talked with this San Jose State defense yesterday, and one thing that they stressed is we got to stop the run, okay? It is imperative that you stop the run and make this quarterback, Bryson Barnes, throw the football all over the yard. And that guy right there, number 45, Vili Tafatofua, he is built like, he's built like he's just made of bricks, okay? I shook his hand yesterday. I'm still icing up.
Yeah, that guy is a football player. To the far sideline, Braden Pagan, who's the team's leading receiver, catch number 28 of the year in game number 7. Move the chains for Utah State. Now, Utah State will work with tempo. This is a team that has relied on big plays to score. They put up 35 points per game. And a lot of it is the mobility of this guy. Bryson Barnes, the quarterback slides, and a flag comes in right around midfield as Barnes for the first time taking off on a Friday night. Our referee is Cal McNeil.
Holding, number 50, offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
You can see our guy Pagan over there on the left side. He just, you know, no block, no rock is what they say, Chris. And he's out there trying to block. I give him credit for the effort, but you got to know when to put your hands up in the air and get off that defender. It takes away a big run there.
So instead, retreat 5 yards, and this is a 1st and 15. Barnes eyes down the field, jumps and throws to the sideline. Right near where the line of scrimmage was, the back, Javen Jacobs. Ethan Powell was chasing.
Now, you know, we're behind the sticks now, offensively. And I'm taking a look over there on the sticks. There's a Chicago Bears logo over there on the sideline between the 40 and the 50-yard line. This is eerily reminiscent of my days in Chicago. We are behind the sticks. We got to make a play here, not where they want to be, particularly with how this team has performed on 3rd down. It's been a real hole in their armor all season long, Chris.
I knew you were coming. 7 years with the Bears, all-pro offensive lineman, Kyle Long. Chris Lewis here at Maverick Stadium. 2nd down and run. Jacobs again, the junior. Transfer from New Mexico. Also spent time at Arizona State. Justin Stearns on the tackle. 3rd down and long for an offense, the Bronco Mendenhall's team that has struggled on 3rd downs.
There's a number of ways to get yourself into 3rd and manageable. Running the football that far behind the chains, that ain't it, Chris. And now we're looking at another 3rd and unmanageable for this Aggie offense.
Saw it there. Just shy of 29% on 3rd downs. For a team that puts up 35 a game, it feels like a misprint. Barnes, there's a conversion right past the 45. Anthony Garcia brings it in, and a 1st down for the Aggies.
And you know what? That is how you can protect your offensive line and protect yourself. Once that back foot hits for Bryson Barnes, boom, that ball's coming out, zipping, beautiful spiral, great catch, concentration, move the chains.
This is a team in Utah State that will empty it out on a number of their formations. And they open it up for Barnes just like that, but Barnes is swallowed up in the backfield. Noah McNeil-Franklin, 33rd tackle of the year, the 3rd-year Spartan, there on the stop.
You know, he wears the green dot, and for those of you at home, the green dot is the thing you communicate with your defensive coordinator on the sideline. There's a reason that Noah McNeil-Franklin is out there. He's so productive. When you're playing this offense, your eyes have to be right. There's a lot of window dressing. There's a lot of fireworks, but you got to see that ball. Great job there.
Derek Odom, the defensive coordinator, said everything in the linebacker group goes through him. This is Garcia who throws to the near sideline for Barnes. So the 2 quarterback look there with Garcia, who's usually used as a wide receiver. But that is his 4th passing attempt this season and the 1st reception for the quarterback Barnes.
Now they got Garcia. We've heard about him the last week, and we saw him against Hawaii throw the football. They threw him a little ball. He was behind the line of scrimmage. Backwards pass to forwards pass down the sideline. He can sling it. He can run. He can do a little bit of everything.
Still not much of a gain, so 3rd and 9. Tight end Lane isolated on the near side. They look that way. Brock Lane catches, but is shy of the sticks. The defense for San Jose State converges. Jalen Thomas, and a decision for Utah State here towards the middle of the field on a 4th down.
Starting to work some line games there for that San Jose State defensive front. Got a little TE stuff for those of you at home. When I say TE, I mean tackle and then end, which means the tackle goes first and then the end loops around. You had a little internal stunt, so you got more defenders in that A gap right on the flank of the center, trying to cloudy that picture for Bryson Barnes.
Offense still on the field, 4th down and 4. Barnes looks right, rolls to that side. Open player in the flat, it's caught by Jacobs. Makes one miss inside the 20. Jacobs rattles inside the 10. Won't go down. Finally around the 7. A 4th down. Utah State aggressive, and they get the big play through the air to set up a 1st and goal.
They just lost vision. Lost vision here on the scramble drill. You got to keep your antennae up. There's a dude on the sideline, okay? There's a guy over there on the sideline wide open. You can't have a bust like that, particularly against this offense.
Jacobs remains in. He's wide to the top of the screen. Barnes tunnels through, leaps high. He hits the ground hard at the 3.
That play right there is a microcosm of this offense. You pull the guard, you pull the tight end from the other side. Your quarterback does a front flip on a gain of 5. Physical stuff here from the Utah State Aggies, and I think it matches up with their personnel.
I expect nothing less from a guy who likes the contact in Barnes. Offensive coordinator Kevin McGibbon says at times want him to protect himself. He's left the game the last couple of weeks with an injury, but has returned. See his numbers in the red zone. This is 2nd and goal. A handoff to Davis, who gets toppled shy of the goal line by Jordan Pollard. And it sets up a 3rd and goal for Utah State on their first offensive possession here late in the 1st.
Now we know Bryson Barnes is a threat in the low red zone. He can run and change the numbers. And by change the numbers, I mean usually with a quarterback, he's giving it to somebody else. That means 11 on 10. You get 11 on 11 if he runs the football. Keep your eye out for Bryson Barnes on the ground.
Already has 6 rushing touchdowns this season. Rare under center look. Sweeping handoff. Hagan hesitates, accelerates, and dives in for the game's first touchdown.
Love that way to respond after a field goal by San Jose State. You got to take this thing down and score a touchdown. You get in the low red, you got to punch it in. They give it a try with the running back. They go to Pagan on the end around. Great blocking there on the left-hand side, and you can see him influencing, setting up his blocks. Oh, and a pancake finish, down there. Love that one. Touchdown for the Aggies.
The only time I've seen you more excited for pancakes, Kyle, is when you go to Angie's.
That was Brock Lane
before the game.
Brock Lane with the pancake.
Extra point, Tanner Rinker. That one counts, and it's 7-3. Utah State, after both teams get points on their opening drive. The big play of the drive was a 4th down conversion from Barnes to Jacobs. It sets up Pagan for Pater.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon and by Kubota, your compact equipment provider.
Some talented players, some elite quarterbacks. Utah State, Jordan Love, of course, now doing his thing with the Packers. They have a good one right now in Bryson Barnes, who just led the Utah State touchdown drive. 14 plays, 75 yards. To counter the San Jose State field goal on their first possession. Maverick Stadium, one of the more gorgeous, scenic stadiums that you'll see in college football. And the crowd has filled up the seats. Robbins drills it through the end zone. So that last drive, Kyle, everything that this Utah State offense wants. Not just big plays, but a sustained drive and converting 3rd and 4th downs.
You know, it's that number right there. 14 plays. Keep San Jose State on the sideline. Keep proving to your offense that you can move it down the field in any number of ways.
The term that Bronco Mendenhall used with us and the media this week, playing well in context. They're playing well in context on that drive.
Situational football, man. 3rd downs, got to have them red zone touchdowns, not field goals.
Long drives to begin this game. Egan back to work. Quick dart to the slot, far side Scudero, just shy of the 30-yard line. Taylor on the stop.
A lot of what this offense is doing here with the quick game is extension of the run game. Stay on schedule. Now you got 2nd and 6. It's a good spot to be as an offense.
Our San Jose State had the nation's Triple Crown winner a season ago with Nick Nash. His crazy production, and Scudero filling those shoes valiantly. Across the middle, what a catch. Kyrie Scholes showing off the hands into plus territory at the 42 from a missile from Walker Egan's.
Better have strong hands if Egan's going to throw you the football. And one thing that jumped out to be about number 4, he likes going across the middle. He ain't afraid of nothing, Chris.
That's really a trait that all these San Jose State receivers have. From the 45. Lamar Ratcliffe off left side. Tough to bring him down. And Kyle, you mentioned his prototype size, 6'1", 220-pound sophomore from Sacramento. He's getting more work with Jabari Bates, injured and out for the year for San Jose State. And Floyd Chalk, after his 4 games played, he's no longer playing with San Jose State. So those are 2 running backs giving Ratcliffe a chance to play more of that feature role. 2nd and 6. Flick of the wrist to the far side, but the receiver kept running up the field. Scudero incomplete. There is a penalty marker in on the near side. Looks to be against San Jose State.
Downfield, number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Joseph Harbert, the center, 2nd penalty.
You know, sometimes you get these run fakes that are pass plays, and you might fake it a little too good, Chris. You end up down the field, then they throw the flag. You say, Coach, I was just doing my job. I'm still in run.
Instead, got caught a little bit too far down the field. Well, brings it back to a 2nd and 12. Pressure on Egan, hit as he throws, and a collision at the 30, knocked away. Noah Abinger laid down the hammer, and it's the 2nd time Scudero, who came in questionable with an upper body injury, is slow to get up. That was a huge hit by the free safety, the big senior Abinger. Scudero trying to fight through it, playing in pain. I'll check on him as we return. Second time in this game, Scudero was slow to get up. You can see him trying to shake off the hit on the sideline. Egan got hit pretty hard on this throw, and same on the receiving end with Scudero, with Abinger coming in.
Egan fell right on that right shoulder, Chris.
Egan was questionable coming into this game, as well as Scudero. Both shoulder injuries suffered against Wyoming, but both toughing it out on a short week. Egan remains in on a 3rd and 12. Utah State rushes 4, setting up the screen for Steve Chavez Soto. Room and the first down. Chavez Soto marches to the 30-yard line. A well-timed screen. Larson the stop, and a fresh set of downs, San Jose State.
And what we're seeing from this Utah State defense, they're trying to speed up Walker Egan. They end up getting to a 5-man rush with that 2nd level pressure, and great job by San Jose State pressing the screen button right into the teeth of the blitz. That's where you make big gains.
That's all the offensive linemen, right? Getting out, running ahead of the pack, setting it up for the running back.
Bulls on parade, buddy.
Chavez Soto again, this time tries the right side. And gains 8 yards on first down before the Tyra Brown brings him down. So the running game really for both teams strong here in the first quarter.
We were thinking, I mean, it's going to be a fireworks show offensively with the quarterbacks, but the way to quell that for both offenses is stay on the field, run the football a little bit.
first quarter, this is just the third combined drive. Long drive, San Jose State to open it, and a touchdown followed from Utah State. This is the ensuing possession. And Chavez Soto needed the 20-yard line, and he's going to be short. So this is a third down and short coming up for the Spartans.
And what we've noticed from Utah State, early on, they had a ton of defenders, second and third level of defense, saying, prove to us that you're going to run the football. And now they've pressed that run button a couple times for San Jose State. They're looking to open up some voids in the defense down the field. They want Egan to throw the football. They run to get to the pass.
From just outside the red zone, Ratcliffe, the running back. Third and 1, Egan keeps, flings, fade, backside. A contested ball, and incomplete. Matthew Coleman was the receiver, but Bryson Taylor did not allow any separation. And with the kicking struggles with San Jose State, I'd imagine they go for it here on fourth.
Little hand fighting there, physical defense and offense. Great competition for the football, but great job by Taylor breaking that thing up. And like you said, fourth and short, what do we see here? Got Egan in the huddle still.
Offense staying on the field, and Danny Scudero reinserted.
Leland Smith on the outside.
Actually checking, he's out. The two receivers are Smith and Coleman. Fourth down run, and that doesn't look to be enough. Ratcliffe stood up. Depends on the spot, but doesn't look like it. Utah State's defense celebrates. A likely turnover on downs.
Massive play, massive swing. We don't know what the spot is here yet, but I'm assuming by the reaction. There you go. There's that reaction. I'm assuming by the reaction here, it's going to be Utah State football. Look, if you're San Jose State, you just watch Utah State drain the clock, 14-play drive for the touchdown. You get the ball in the zip code of the end zone down here. You got to find a way to score, because as we said after that first field goals ain't going to win it. You need touchdowns, and you definitely can't come away with 0.
Interior penetration. Miller involved in that tackle, and Brevin Hamlin as well. The Utah State defense that's near the bottom of the Mountain West so far in most categories comes up with a stop just outside the red zone. And the football, what could be the final play of the quarter, Barnes evades and slides just shy of the 25.
You know, I give this Utah State defense a ton of credit. They showed up physically early in this football game.
First quarter complete. Here in Logan, home team touchdown on their opening drive. They have the lead 7-3. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Fast-paced first quarter completes. Homecoming for Utah State, and Bryson Barnes came in one of the most productive quarterbacks. You combine his passing and rushing numbers in the country. So far in this game, a perfect 5 for 5 through the air. He was sensational on Utah State's opening touchdown drive. While Walker Egan taking some big hits. Utah State, one of the top pressure teams, getting to the quarterback in the league, and they've tagged Egan a couple of times, who came in with a banged up shoulder. Jamin Jacobs on first down. San Jose State's defense stops that before it gets going. Jordan Pollard on the stop. That last drive was 14 plays.
Barnes just effective, man, finding a way to get these open guys, matriculating the football down the field, creative ways to get the ball into the end zone. It's been fun to watch so far, and you can see Kevin McGivern in there. And we talked to him yesterday. Getting that ball going on the ground was big.
Sideline out, Pagan brings it in. They'll still be a few yards shy of first down yardage. But yeah, Kevin McGivern, Kyle, big story in this game. Last 7 years, he was on the San Jose State staff. 6 years as the offensive coordinator. Last year, the passing game coordinator. So fourth down coming up in the punt unit on for Utah State.
A lot of respect from this coach for his old players and guys that he knows from San Jose State. Nice to hear him talk about Walker Egan in such a nice way. Obviously, what's not to like about Egan?
So he gets to go against Odom, who was his the defensive coordinator that he faced in practice last year. Then Enrico, high sailing punts. Fair catch called at the 31-yard line. Hang time of about 4 seconds. And San Jose State will have the football coming up next. Down 7-3 in Logan. Teams meeting for the 43rd time. So the last couple of meetings back in 2022. Following a Chevin Cordero touchdown and a 2-point conversion, Utah State down, but they get the Calvin Tyler touchdown run to go in front. Then the next year, 2023, finally San Jose State got a win. It ended a 10-game losing streak against Utah State. There's Nick Nash, a chance to celebrate against the Aggies. So you can see the last 5. Again, San Jose State won the most recent meeting. Before that, Utah State had won 10 in a row. Spartans looking for their first win in Logan since 2007. Kyle, top movie in September 2007, Superbad.
Chicka, chicka, yeah.
That was the last time San Jose State won in this city. Ratcliffe on first down on the draw. Shoulders forward as he gets all the way to the 39-yard line. Gains 7. Ronson Olival Jr. on the tackle, the linebacker.
We used to call that the old Picasso. Want to know why? He was an artist. The draw play. Love that. Invite the rush up the field. Run right up that hallway. You create in that void. Get you a couple yards.
As an offensive lineman, you have to sell pass for as long as you can.
You can. For the tackles, you want to get beat up field. For the guards, you want to engage and make them go right or left if you're a guard.
Tight end Kanan in motion. Egan gets the shotgun snap and rifles to the far sideline. Right in stride. Reception for Cooper Hoke, who just his 4th grab of the year, the redshirt sophomore.
It seemed to be the first pass we've seen completed where there's not a blue jersey draped on these receivers. And I think this Utah State defense has 5 pass breakups already in this football game, Chris. That's a very high number even for them. It might be their season high so far. Egan looking to find those open guys.
2 big play offenses, but instead we've seen longer sustained drives so far. Egan, he's hunting deep. Doesn't take long here in the second quarter, but it's over the head of Hoke and incomplete. And you just wonder, you know, with Scudero being banged up, not on the field here, you have Hoke in as a replacement. If that's Egan to Scudero, it's a little bit different.
Well, we already know that we're in 4-down territory here. We saw it down even closer into the red zone. So this football team's got 2 downs to get this first down, Chris.
Scudero is in on this play in the slot on the near side. So again, twice in this game, Scudero got hit hard and had to leave for at least a few plays. He's toughing it out as well as his quarterback. Ratcliffe off left side, barrels ahead in the plus territory. And this will be 3rd down coming up, medium distance for the Spartans.
Nice pull across the formation there by right tackle Nate Hale from Orange Lutheran, Orange, California. Love to see that. Go put your face on the end man on the line of scrimmage, see if we can make some hay. 3rd down here. Like I said, this is 4-down territory, 2 downs to get there. Wouldn't be mad if we got it right here if you're a San Jose fan.
Scudero, eyes on him, slot near side. Nation's leading receiver. 3rd down. Egan blitz from the backside, makes a man miss. Abinger could not make the stop, and Egan picks up the first down with his legs. And Abinger came in on the blitz and nearly blasted Egan, who held on.
And this was just a little bit of street ball, and he had his guy Scudero, who turned and gave eyes to Egan. And then I got to give credit to the big block by Steve Chavez Soto, the guy that their coaches called Baby Cam Scatterbo. He was out there laying the lumber out front for his quarterback. Love to see that. Easiest way to earn respect as a skill player.
Hey, the freshman making a play without the football. From the 38, 4 wide in this set. Egan pressured, happy feet, tosses low, and incomplete. And again, Egan takes some hard hits, assisted up by a couple of O-linemen.
Yeah, you need to see more white jerseys over there around the defenders that are just bludgeoning Walker Egan. I'll tell you what, you got to peel those defenders off your guy. Chris Joe there, punching, physical. It's been a lot of that tonight for both these teams.
Now, Egan's used to taking a punch, or at least his family knows a little bit about seeing other people take a punch.
There you go.
His dad, Barry, a longtime boxing ring announcer. This throw to the far sideline. Kyrie Scholes showing off the footwork, but the ball pops out, and Olaval picks it up for Utah State. So it was a brilliant play for San Jose State to pick up the first down, but Scholes lost it. Olaval there, and the game's first turnover here in the second.
And now it's just, if you're San Jose State, you got to be able to survive this flurry of punches. I know we're going back to boxing here, but Utah State has done a great job early in this football game, capitalizing on some of these mistakes. And obviously, I'm about to sing Kyrie Scholes' praises, and then I see that leather on the ground. You never want to see that as an offensive player. Quick turnaround. Utah State looking to score fast here, make it 14-3, and obviously San Jose State, they need a big stop.
Bodies around the football stood out on that play, and it started with the secondary. You were just reaping their praises, their pass breakups, and that time forced a turnover with Olaval, the linebacker, picking it up.
Might have been a peanut punch in there. Shout out to my old teammate Charles Thomas.
First down give, Jacobs. Hits into San Jose State territory, and these first down runs have been a story in this game. That's 7 more on first down.
And you got your guy, Junior Sia, over there at the right tackle spot. He's filling in for Trey Anderson, who's over there on the left side for Utah State. Physical group here.
Empty it out. Used to seeing a draw here instead of a throw that looked to be deflected early. And Barnes hits the ground as well. Nafafunga got that paw on it. It was right there closing in on the quarterback.
That's a big paw too. Nafafunga out of American Samoa. Big guy there getting Bryson Barnes on the ground. And now we get this terrible third down situation that Utah State's been in, but this is a manageable distance.
2 for 4 is solid. What the Aggies have done so far this year, below 30%. Showing blitz on third. Barnes off the back foot throw. Garcia's there, but the pass to the sideline. Garcia never got his eyes turned to see the football. Banner in coverage, and now it's 4th.
They're bringing the punt team out here.
Rico, the punter.
And you can see that San Jose State sideline. That was a huge stop in this football game.
Is this the area of the field that you have to beware of a fake? And if you're San Jose State, have your safe defense on the special teams play?
I would say you've always got to be aware of the fake, particularly middle of the field, short yardage situation on 4th down.
Rico swings that right leg, and Jalen Thomas. Fair catch inside the 15. This game was billed as 2 dynamic offenses going head-to-head. Defenses settling in the first half. Sunday, you can count on an NFL on CBS Week 7 slate. Yeah, great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs against the Raiders. Resurgent Daniel Jones leading the Colts against Justin Herbert's Chargers. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS. It's streaming on Paramount Plus. I want to give a congratulations to my guy, Kyle Long, who'll be on the NFL Today this week. And I've always wanted to channel my inner James Brown, so I'll do it here and pose you a question like you're on the NFL Today. Those quarterbacks, which one has the higher upside going forward?
Well, I'll tell you what, upside, I think if you're looking for explosive offense, Jackson Dart, but they got to teach that young man to get down. Bo Nix, a lot of fun to watch, paired with the great Sean Payton.
Exciting moments for Giants fans, seeing what Dart has done in replacement of Russell Wilson. First down screen pattern for Kyrie Scholes, who had the fumble to end the Spartans' most recent drive. See their 3 drives, field goal, turnover on downs, and then that fumble in plus territory.
Dude, I'll tell you, that's the quickest way to get that guy back confident. Give him the football quickly, get him over the fumble.
Chavez Soto, room on the outside. Gets hit hard on the outside by D'Angelo Mays. On a first down for San Jose State.
So early in this game, Chris, we've seen Danny Scudero take a number of big shellacking hits, and he's been on the ground. You need Scholes to show that he can show up and be the guy if Scudero's not going to be able to be there. But Scudero's in the slot. He's still in there for now.
Last week, Scudero had over 150 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half. In this game so far, just 2 catches. Egan looking his way along the near side, instead checks it down. And Kanan started running up the field. But yeah, that game by Scudero last week, incredible first half of football. There's only been 3 receivers in the last 10 years with 4 touchdowns and 150 yards and a half. Devontae Smith and Justin Jefferson.
Come on. Come on. This guy's fun to watch. He's fun to study past couple weeks. He's got some juice, man.
Of course, San Jose State blew the lead. That's a dangerous pass and nearly intercepted. The instincts of Ike Larson being shown off there, making the break on the football.
When you study Walker Egan, he's an accurate passer. He can put it outside the numbers. He can throw over the middle. But one thing that has been a theme early in this football game, the balls have been a bit high, Chris. Excitement, getting over that shoulder. High balls.
Meanwhile, Larson's first home game of the year. This is a guy who's extremely popular locally here in Logan, a Utah guy. All conference a couple of times prior 2 years. Looking to make an impact on homecoming. It's his 3rd down, and Egan pressured, spins away, eyes down the field as he rifles to the far side and incompletes. John Miller was chasing.
And now they're trying to mix up the picture for Walker Egan. They've got a single high safety here, and they drop into 3 high after the snap. It changes the entirety of what Walker Egan is thinking. Obviously pressure in his face. I credit this Utah State defensive front for hustling. A bunch of Charlie hustle guys making sure that Walker Egan's not on his spot. And we got another punt. 4th down from their own 32-yard line.
Trent Carrizosa. Older brother Michael was a punter at San Jose State, one of the best. About 10 years ago. There's contact on the swing leg of this punt.
2 flags.
Penalty marker down. Rahadu Davis on the return, and Davis toppled inside the 20. We'll check to see the contact. Charger Doty on the punter, Carrizosa.
And you could see Coach Niamatalolo on the sideline. He said, "What? 5? I think we might not get that first down."
Roughing the kick, running into the kicker. Receiving team, that penalty decline. The result of the play is kick, first down. Timeout on the field.
So that roughing versus running into. Running into is just 5 yards, would not be a first down. So instead, just take the punt. They ran into the swing leg. That's usually running into versus hitting the plant leg, which is roughing. You take a look at it here. Yep, the swing leg was contacted.
Swung him like a sprinkler.
Go from football to footy. Catch a Serie A showdown. Pisa takes on Hellas Verona tomorrow morning, 9 Eastern. The pinnacle of Italian soccer on CBS Sports Network. And stream every match live on Paramount Plus. Utah State defense near the bottom of the league. Not tonight.
And these guys have been swarming to the football. Line of scrimmage, there's been nowhere to run for the most part. 2nd and 3rd level, they have plastered to these receivers. It's been tough sledding for San Jose State.
And whistles before this first down play.
Ball starts. All 11 players are not set on offense. 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
They get everybody.
All 11, everybody on the bus. Move it back 5 yards, buddy. You can't do that. You know what? If we're all wrong, we're all right. Okay, we don't want one guy being wrong. We want the whole team. That's unity right there.
Nick Howe, defensive coordinator. Bronco Mendenhall, of course, defensive roots as well as the head coach. diving ahead. Bryson Barnes on 1st and long. Pollard was the closest to him. And Barnes looks at a member of his offense who's slow to get up.
Right now, the difference in the football game is these late blitz adders. Right there, it was Noah McNeil Franklin for San Jose State. He was able to heat up Bryson Barnes, but Bryson Barnes athletic enough to get out of dodge, get some yards. What we've seen from San Jose State when they've got the pressures, Walker hasn't really been able to break, contain, get outside and make a throw. I think we see more pressure on the San Jose State offense, and maybe the San Jose State defense says, let's not heat them up.
You see right there, Davis got caught lower body there on the slide from Barnes. Has to go to the sidelines for a release to play. Got the penalty yards back, 2nd and 10. Screen, far side, Pagan to the 21. Nate Lewis out from his defensive line position to make the tackle. And 3rd down coming up.
I really think this Utah State football team needs to lean more into running the football on 2nd down. They've been able to get some good chunks, and it would put you in a better situation on 3rd down. You're looking at 3rd and 6 here now. The defensive playbook's open for San Jose State.
Bo Davis and Jacobs in the game. Jacobs in motion. Barnes darts across the middle and drop. Braden Pagan got his paw on it. The defense converts. Jalen Paulett-Williams makes the final tag. And 4th down, Aggies.
Larry Turner good in getting in there as well. You always want to be around those incompletions if you're in the secondary. And they can all celebrate when they're all on the same page, in the same picture, Chris. You know, those guys like to celebrate on the back end.
Yeah, the picture club, I know a lot of defensive coordinators talk about that. You got to get at least around the football.
Yes.
How many people can be in the frame? Rico back on. Drops the snap, but calm and cool. Fair catch, 32. Landon Rico has seen a lot of bunts, whether it's him or his older brother Ryan, who's the punter for the Bengals. There wasn't many punts in that game the other night.
No, a lot of years at quarterback.
They don't need the new Taylor Swift album to have a good time. They can listen to the old stuff.
You can listen to Taylor all night, buddy. A lot of good stuff.
It's a big crowd at Maverick Stadium. Holds 25,000. Elevation of over 4,000 feet. Chris Lewis, Kyle Long here in Logan. The Cache Valley. It's a night game, so you can't have that gorgeous view from the press box of the Bear River Range or the Wasatch Mountains.
There you go.
But it is one of the iconic views of this conference.
Spectacular.
And in college football. San Jose State possession from the 32. At an opening drive field goal, kept off the board since. Extended away from the body catch, Matthew Coleman. Well done as he gets shy of the 40-yard line. Time for a studio update. Let's check in with New York and Zach Aldridge.
Miami on upset alert against Louisville. They force a turnover, come right back. Malachi Tony, 12 yards to pay dirt. They go for 2 and go with trickeration. Tony to C.J. Daniels. Down 3 is Miami, under 7 to play.
Thanks, Zach. That's a good one. We have 2 teams that can light up the scoreboard here. Haven't done it yet. And Danny Scudero, who is the explosive receiver for San Jose State, coming into this game, 50 catches, again, through just 6 games, 845 yards and 8 touchdowns. This game, just 2 grabs for 14 yards.
And we saw him get dinged recently, and the drops became a theme. Need him here on this 3rd down.
With Ratcliffe in a tailback, a corner blitz. Egan steps up, examines down the field, tucks and runs, and is wrestled down at the 40. Olivao and Miller combine on the stop for Utah State. And likely a 3 and out for the Spartans.
Another theme all night has been swarming to the football for this Aggie defense. These guys, you know, they make their coaches proud with their effort. It's all about culture here at Utah State. Bronco Mendenhall talked about establishing a culture before establishing performance, because culture leads to performance, and then you got yourself a program that's a Broncos building here.
And not just roster construction on a yearly basis. No, he's trying to build a program, fundamental values that carry over even if the roster changes from year to year. Whistles before 4th and 3.
Kick it in. 5-yard penalty. Remain 4th down.
Play clock winding down. Trent Carrizosa in the punt unit for San Jose State. Now, they gave up a punt return touchdown last week against Wyoming. That was a play that changed that game. They were in control, and there was just a couple of plays, that and a pick 6 in the second half, that allowed Wyoming to hang in enough to have that closing kick to win it. And Laramie, fair catch 21 from Jacobs.
I would hate to return punts. There's 3 guys running at you. You got to focus on that football, flying at about 5,000 feet altitude. That does not look fun, Chris.
That altitude is no joke. Huffing and puffing as you were walking up the steps here.
Hey, you too, bro. You too. I said, are you winded too? You said, of course. Don't die, you know. You're trying to get me soloed out as an out-of-shaper. My wife's watching, a marathoner. Kate, I'm in shape. You know that.
The Aggies offense in good shape the last 4 games. Opening drive touchdown in this one. I used to live at altitude. I don't anymore, and I can tell my body isn't used to it. It has been unadjusted. Laser across the middle. First catch of the game for Brady Boyd. Makes a man miss to the outside in the stiff arm as he navigates towards the sideline. Jalen Boehner knocked him out. 28-yard connection on first.
There's multiple types of run fakes. There's token run fakes where you just, you know, it's a half-hearted run fake. And then there's a run fake that gets the suck of that defense, the second level. They have to respect the running game. That opens up windows on the second level.
Davis and Jacobs have been running well. This is Garcia, who flips it back to Barnes. Trick play, Utah State. Garcia down the sideline. Gorgeous throw. Incredible catch at the 20. Yeah, Garcia lined up as the quarterback on that play. Barnes out wide. They get it to Barnes. The traditional quarterback throws to the receiver.
A little razzle-dazzle. It's like Ben Johnson's on the sideline over there for the Utah State offense, and you can see the little Amon-Ra St. Brown hip shimmy there from our guy on the celebration. Big catch. Great move.
How about that throw? Dropped it on a dime to get it to Garcia, who's been a factor tonight. Option flip. Catch on the run for Boyd to the 15. Tiptoes out of bounds. Jordan Pollard runs them out. Utah State a chance to go up 2 scores late in the second quarter.
And that's one of those plays where your eyes got to be right, San Jose State defense, because you get the option to hand the football off and you can keep it. And once you keep it, you can pitch it to your buddy. 3 options there for that Utah State offense. A lot to look at for San Jose State.
They're inside the red zone, Utah State, thanks in large part to Anthony Garcia, who is a former Spartan. Barnes accelerates and tumbles right around the 13.
One cool concept you see here is 2 running backs in the backfield in shotgun, and at the snap of the football, they sprint as wide as they can, clears out 2 second-level defenders, and it gives that void for Bryson Barnes to be able to run the football, which we know he really excels at running the football, Chris.
Especially this area of the field, has a nose for the end zone. 6 rushing scores this season. Davis the tailback. 3rd down and 3. Boyd, the motion man. Barnes looks left, throws that direction, but through the hands of Garcia. Mentioned, he's a former Spartan, started his college career as a quarterback with San Jose State. What do you do here on 4th down?
It's been, you know, the kicking game, both teams, obviously, it's a question mark, but it's still a 4-point football game. They're going to keep this offense out here. And I think you have to stress this defense. They're going empty here. No run fakes.
Davis in motion, 4th down, need to get to the 10. Barnes can do it himself on the ground, rolls to the near side, launches low, it's caught, but it's shy of 1st down yardage. Josh Sturzer caught it, but he needed to get inside the 10, did not do it.
Incredible effort there from Barnes. being able to deliver that football anywhere near the zip code of his tight end. And you saw it on the big throw to Garcia as well. Took a big shot. This guy's not afraid of some contact. Good hold here by the San Jose State defense. Get to see what we got from the Spartans now.
Was a clean catch, but needed inside the 10. Not exactly the 9, but inside the 10. And that wasn't enough.
So what happens when you're a receiver and the scramble drill breaks out? Obviously your head snaps around, tries to find the eyes of your quarterback, and sometimes you move towards him, which puts you out of first down range.
So they elect to not try for a field goal, go for it on fourth, do not pick it up. Part of the calculus of the decision, though, is you pin the opposing offense deep to start their drive. Near sideline go route, Leland Smith brings it in, plus territory. The big 6'4" junior from Houston.
Physical mismatch. Number 1, Leland Smith, he's 6'4", 215. He runs like a deer. And what Stutzman wants, the offensive coordinator, he says, I want this guy to run like a deer all the time, because if he does, he's going to have opportunities to make huge plays just like that one. And now you can see him lined up in the slot here on the left-hand side.
Gained 43 yards. They have big plans for him in this game to play more of that slot position. As Egan on the draw, the quarterback scrambles and picks up 8. Leland Smith, we mentioned his height. He's also a baller. And in the event for the football team at a basketball game last season, this is Smith. He won the team slam dunk contest.
That's explosive, okay? That is explosive. That's why playing defensive back is so hard. You got to cover freaks like that.
Come from an athletic family, to say the least. You were able to get up like that? Big 6'5", 6'6" over there.
With some teamwork.
Teamwork isn't a ladder.
A scissor lift.
Smith again over his head. And it's third down and short coming up for San Jose State. 2:13 to go. Second quarter from Logan, Utah. Friday night here in the Mountain West. Chris Lewis, Kyle Long, here on CBS Sports Network.
For whom the bell tolls, and the bell tolls right now for this defense. 3rd and 2. You got to have the understanding that it's 4-down territory again with this porous kicking game for the Spartans. Let's see what Stutzman's got up his sleeve.
Egan, who came in completing nearly 62% of his passes, well below 50%. Third down run. Chavez Soto, the short yardage specialist, bangs forward and moves the chains, which will be the final play before the 2-minute timeout. Utah State has had problems this year on end of first half drives, allowing points from the opposing team. Can they hold strong at the 2-minute timeout? Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. Back to New York. Zach Aldridge, Kevin Carter, Emory Hunt, Cardale Jones. Break down this game and some other dramatic games across college football tonight. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report. So Miami, Louisville, that's going on right now. And right now, Miami trailing. That game in the balance as we speak. So that's a Friday night affair that could have ramifications throughout the national look of college football this week. Looks like Louisville, we're getting word from Tom Wicks and Chris Burns, our producer and director in the truck. Looks like they're about to win that game. So Louisville will pull an upset on a Friday night. Leland Smith has a tunnel, uses a stiff arm, stays on his feet, 22-yard line. John Miller on the tackle.
The theme, obviously, for the San Jose State Spartans is throwing the football. But as I said earlier, these screen plays out to the boundary, out to the sideline, it's an extension of the run game. It forces those smaller players to make tackles on the edge, gives you an opportunity to get that convoy of O-linemen out there, maybe a big play.
So this end of half clock game management, both sides here, becomes a factor. Matthew Coleman at the 16-yard line. So with 1:30 left, imagine Utah State might look to take some timeouts here if they want to get a possession on the backside of this. But right now they do not.
The old double dip. Score before the half, score after the half. And this thing's ticking down here for Walker Egan.
Utah State won the toss in this game. They deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the second half. Timeout.
They let that thing run down.
30 seconds in lane.
Yeah, they use the timeout more for defense, making sure that they have the right communication and personnel on, more than they use it to preserve time late in the second quarter. But late half situations, especially the first half, have been an issue for Utah State. They've allowed points in the final 25 seconds of the first half 3 times this season.
Yeah, that's what we were talking with Coach Mendenhall about. He's talking about playing well in context. Well, here's one of those contextual moments, Chris, where you got to step up as a defense. And then obviously, if you do get the football back, you're going to have to go down the football field very quickly in order to score. Second down here for San Jose State, though. They're also looking to punch this thing in, take the lead with a minute left before the half.
We thought there'd be points galore, big plays across the board in this first half, and we really haven't seen that. A chance for points before halftime. With Radcliffe in at tailback. 2nd and 4, a blitz. Radcliffe, the running back on a screen. Makes the catch, first down, jukes inside and has 6. San Jose State strikes late in the first half.
Fight fire with fire here, Chris. They bring the pressure. Obviously, you can see pre-snap they were going to bring a 5th rusher. They brought 6th, 7th rusher. They get the football out on the screen. Great job here. You can see the entire right side of the defense cave in. And then just following that convoy, great job by Radcliffe, leveraging that defender, finding his way into the end zone. San Jose State with the lead.
Matthias Brown, extra point. That one goes wide to the left. I don't know if that was deflected.
That looked like my 3-iron.
That one right off the foot left, and the kicking problems continue for San Jose State. They get points, but not 7. We'll be back. Matthias Brown, it's the 3rd week where he's being used as a San Jose State kicker. He misses 2 field goals last week, this time an extra point. And not sure if that one was even touched at the line. That one just took a turn left right off the foot.
Looked like his controller came up blood there. I don't know if anybody touched it.
Tuje was close for Utah State, the defensive tackle. But that one was taking that turn left. That's the first missed extra point for Brown. So with 59 seconds to go in the second quarter, it's Bryson Barnes in Utah State with a chance to counter. What have you seen so far from the Aggie quarterback?
What I've seen from the Aggie quarterback, Bryson Barnes, is that he is tough as nails. He's never out of a play with his ability to extend the play with his feet, put stress on the 2nd and 3rd levels of the defense, and that's why the guy can make so many plays. You can call anything for him.
Like what Coach Mendenhall said, plays with a heart and soul. Guy who's completely bought in and guns it to the near side. Braden Pagan tiptoes to the sidelines right near midfield, a few yards shy of it. Their returner good in there in coverage.
2-minute drives, it's always important to get a first play that's a positive play. Even more important is getting that explosive play. Huge start.
Running back Jacobs wide to the right on first. Barnes in the pocket, steps up and is brought down. A sack. 23rd sack allowed by Utah State this year. And Nafa Funga gets credit for that one, his 2nd of the season. And Utah State burns their 2nd time out.
Nafa Funga here working against 2 guys, able to push the pocket. A lot of strength. We watched that defensive line walk through the hotel last night. An impressive bunch.
And your credit to Likio, who came in off the edge. Funga collapsed the pocket, but Likio.
That's what they were preaching, teamwork, wasn't it? We were talking to Vili last night. He said, me and my boys, you know, it's about helping out your buddies, help them, set them up to make plays. Pushing the pocket does every bit of that, Chris.
And both of these defenses, for really different reasons, having something to prove here on a Friday night. Utah State allowed Hawaii to race past them in the second half of their game. And then they had to travel back from the island, short week. They face a tough San Jose State team who blew a late lead against Wyoming in their last contest. Blitz, Barnes, hit as he throws it away. It was outside the pocket, even though a couple of receivers were also in the area. Ethan Powell came running towards Barnes.
And don't look now. 3 timeouts left for San Jose State. You're looking at a behind the sticks 3rd down for this Bryson Barnes-led offense for Utah State. This has been where they've struggled. If San Jose State can make a stop here, look out.
Isaiah Rivas there on that blitz. Pressure in the quarterback. 3rd and 13. A rush of 4. Barnes, deep ball. Contact on Pagan, and there's the flag. Jalen Thomas was running with him in contact after the ball left the hand of Barnes.
Pass interference, number 29 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
There's hand fighting, and then there's chest bumping. And sometimes when you're down there outside the red line, and for those of you at home that don't see a red line on the field, at practice there's a red line that runs right around that numbers between the hash and the sideline. That's where that ball was, a little chest bump in there. Can't have that.
Barnes surrounded as wheels. Barnes 1st down, stays on his feet towards the 20. Utah State with 1 timeout left, 26 seconds. The clock will stop just to reset the chains. Then it restarts. They get the snap off with 22. Lane in the seam, over his head and incomplete. The tight end laid out for it. But an incomplete pass stops the clock with 17 seconds.
That was Big Brock Lane, who came on recently for this Aggie football team. He had a big block on the touchdown, and then you see him just able to get his fingertips on it. He's going to want to have that back. I know Barnes will as well. This place would have erupted if he caught that ball.
Remember, they got the ball with about 55 seconds to go in the half. Already have the ball at the 20. Barnes, sideline toss. There is Lane. So instead of him being in the seam and in the end zone, he gets to the sideline to stop the clock. 13 seconds left, 3rd down coming up.
Now, either way, if they do end up kicking a field goal here and don't get the touchdown, they will take the lead. They get the ball at the half. So either way, you're cooking with a little bit of gas. You'd like to cook with jet fuel on the touchdown here, though, Chris.
Saw some good eats pregame walking in. Fans in Logan know how to tailgate. 3rd down, looking towards the end zone. Plenty of time moving off the clock, and Barnes throws it high and incomplete. Javen Jacobs the target. 4th down, 6 seconds, and the field goal unit coming in.
You accomplish 2 things here. You get an opportunity to get some points, and you keep San Jose State offense on the sideline so you can bring those 3 timeouts into the locker room. Don't even worry about it.
Tanner Rinker hasn't been used much this year. A perfect 4 for 4. And San Jose State with 3 timeouts left. They use 1 to ice the kicker.
San Jose State, for the 1st time out of the half, 30-second timeout.
Now, if you play NCAA, you ice the kicker, your screen shakes. You're at Utah State, you're the Utah State kicker. They're going to be silent here. These folks know football. Maybe make them think a little bit longer. I don't know. I know everybody's got their thoughts on icing the kicker, but at the home crowd,
I mean, these coaches do research on it, whether it affects certain kickers, whether it doesn't on others.
Oh, 100%. I just heard Doug Peterson talking about the double doink game a couple weeks ago.
You're the one who brought up the double doink game on your own.
They did some advanced analytics, and he said, you know, we call timeout. This guy's going to miss the kick.
I was going to try to rib you with that a little bit later on in the game.
I'm used to it. Those wounds have healed.
Hiram Hatch, long snapper. The holders, Landon Rico. Tanner Rinker's the kicker. This from 31. Splits the uprights. And Utah State counters the San Jose State score. And a drive of about 50 seconds where they move close to the length of the field. 8 plays, 62 yards. And settle with a 31-yard field goal with 3 seconds left. Not exactly a game in which we've had the 20 to 30-yard big explosive plays where both coaches were concerned about the explosive nature of the other teams. Well, the defenses have done their part in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, flying around. You hear both these coaching staffs talk about explosive plays that they have the ability to make, and we heard the numbers from week to week, how they've been doing in explosives. It's a good way to gauge success for your offense. But, as you said, these defenses showed up to play. They both have a chip on their shoulder with the way these seasons have gone for both these units. Got to give a lot of credit to both these defenses.
Got two veteran head coaches as well. Ken Niumatalolo, longtime Navy coach, now in his second year at San Jose State. And Bronco Mendenhall, whether it stops at BYU, Virginia, or last year at New Mexico, associates himself with winning at every stop. Jahari Johnson on the return. And that evaporates the final 3 seconds. And we'll head into the locker room with Utah State leading a low-scoring one, 10-9. Both teams scored on their opening drive, but defense is the theme the first 30 minutes. After the break, we'll go to Zach Aldridge and the crew in New York. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Hanging out the costumes and the gear that you see the fans wear in Logan. It's some of the best. I love it. Utah State 10-9. They have the lead as we start the second half. Kyle Long, Chris Lewis, they must have known you were coming to town, both these teams. We thought we could see a high-scoring shootout. No. Physical.
Yep.
Trenches have been the story of this game.
Yeah,
so
line
far.
of scrimmage. It's been scratching and clawing for every yard down the football field. These teams, fighting to get into the end zone, across into enemy territory. And it's not what we expected, but I'm happy to be a part of it, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a fun one so far. Let's take a look at this breakdown of San Jose State's last touchdown.
Yeah, man, and they've been trying to light up Walker Egan. They've been trying to speed up his process. The 4 down guys, they're going to rush. Then you get the 5th guy, the linebacker. But they bring 2 extra guys here from the field. Great play call by Craig Stutzman, getting to the screen game. And you can see Radcliffe following his offensive lineman, the convoy. That's a nice way to score a touchdown and fight fire with fire.
Ready to get this second half rolling. It was Utah State that won the toss. They chose to defer, so they get the football to start this half. Take a look at the first half stats. Brought to you by Kubota. And yes, in this game, passing yards high for San Jose State, but take a look at the nation's leading receiver, Danny Scudero. Just 2 catches for 14 yards. He's been banged up in this game. He's left a couple of times, has re-entered the game, but not his usual numbers.
Yeah, I got to give Scudero credit. That's a tough football player. He's been getting beat up and banged up all game, and obviously he wasn't right coming into the game. They have to find a way to get the ball to some other guys.
Dual threat quarterback, Bryson Barnes, 6th year. First year, though, as a full starter. Last year, he replaced Spencer Petras. Last couple of games of the year, put up monster rushing totals. Won the job outright this year and has continued to produce both through the air and on the ground.
Taking ownership. That's why he's got that C on his chest, Chris. They don't just hand those things out.
Gain of 2 on first down. Jacobs the motion man. Barnes, screen set up across the middle lane, tunnels through to make the catch. But he's in the backfield and loses a yard.
And Nafa Funna, number 50, he's in the middle of the screen here. And he could sense it coming. He could smell a rat. There was cheese in the building. And Bryson Barnes pump fakes, able to get that football out. And you can see 50 here. He puts the brakes on like an 18-wheeler hitting the J-brake.
I can confirm there is cheese in the building. I saw some of the pregame tailgate cheeseburgers out in the crowd. Barnes spins on 3rd down, guns it deep, wide open Garcia. Nobody within 20 yards. And the former Spartan strikes the Spartans. Touchdown, Utah State.
And our guy, Anthony Garcia, has the cloak of invisibility. I'm going to call him Harry Potter. He's been by himself on the sideline a number of times in this football game. San Jose State defenders, there was 3 of them on the left sideline when Bryson Barnes went left. And there's Garcia all alone. Big, big play for this Utah State offense.
74 yards from Barnes to Garcia. Tanner Rinker in for the extra point. And Utah State opens up their lead, 17-9. Barnes to Garcia. Through the mountain air in Logan, Utah, and nobody was around Garcia, the sophomore from Sacramento. Tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern, big time in Madison, and Camp Randall will be rocking. Number 1 Ohio State takes on the Badgers on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. The longest play of the season for Utah State, 74 yards, Barnes to Garcia.
Anytime you pirouette out to the left side, the eyes of that defense, they're going to go where your quarterback goes, and Garcia just sneaks out the backside. Not a soul around that guy. Huge play.
Jahari Johnson takes a knee. So yeah, going back to Garcia, it's an interesting story. He started his career as a quarterback at San Jose State in 2023. His coordinator there was Kevin McGibbon, who is the offensive coordinator now with Utah State. So those guys have those roots going back to San Jose. They reconnect here. And one of the things that McGibbon mentioned is that Garcia displayed some of the similar traits as a quarterback, the athlete that Nick Nash had when he came in to San Jose State. And last year, Nash, the Triple Crown winner in the FBS, catches, yards, touchdowns for a receiver. Radcliffe on first down, past the 30, all the way to the 33-yard line.
Get to control the tempo of the game a little bit here after that monster uppercut from the Utah State offense. San Jose starting with the run here. You get second and manageable. That's how you start the drive.
Now Craig Stutzman, the offensive coordinator for San Jose State, they have what they call the spread and shred, which is sort of a derivative from the run and shoot offense. A give to Radcliffe, blasted in the backfield. Olivau in his way. It'll be third down.
No easy yards today for this San Jose State offense. And you can see this Aggie defense has been flying in, getting a lot of white hats around the football. I don't care if it's a pass to Scudero. I don't care if it's a pass to our guy Scholes. There have been a number of defenders around ready to choke out the play before it even happens.
Two receivers, Smith and Scudero, two tight ends, 3rd and 1. Chavez Soto breaks loose. Chavez Soto solo. Races to the paint and a touchdown, San Jose State. Not bad for a guy who was a 4th stringer just a couple of weeks ago. 66 to the crib.
And this place got real quiet. Punch, counter punch by our guy here. And I mean, this is the 3rd time I've said it. Baby Scotabo here. Chavez Soto just drilling at the line of scrimmage, able to bust free, bust loose for the touchdown. Another explosive play.
Already an extra point missed in this game for San Jose State, and Matthias Brown this time makes it within 1. Noah Abinger could not make the tackle on the brilliant run for Steve Chavez Soto. Get it in on the road.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Homes.com. The place to find a place. By Subway. Keep moving with Subway's new Fresh Fit menu. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
He played at Utah State, Merlin Olsen. And what a legendary career, 14-time Pro Bowler. Just a part of maybe the greatest nickname that a team could have or a unit could have, the fearsome foursome. We don't have nicknames like that anymore.
I would have hated to play against those guys. Merlin Olsen was a giant of a man. Great football player, great human being by all accounts, great representative for Utah State University.
Well, you mentioned a giant of a man. This was a giant of a play.
Oh, yeah.
A touchdown run for Steve Chavez Soto, 66 yards.
They go right up the gut here. Great job by sustaining their blocks. Just enough time for him to squeak through. And then obviously breaking away, checking his corners for anybody creeping up on him on those long runs.
And at this point, you should be proud if you just run through the tape, right? Get into the end zone before dropping the football, which you sometimes see on a near weekly basis at this point.
We got to clean that up.
I don't know how that happens.
It's so hard to score. It's so hard to get down the football field. You'd think that every guy would want to celebrate with the football in their hand. Maybe give it to an O-lineman once you get there.
Of course, the O-lineman to my right would appreciate that.
Let the big guy dance a little bit.
Kyle Long, Chris Lewis here in Logan, Utah. Utah State lead down to just one. After a 4-yard pickup, Barnes to the sideline. Right on target for Braden Pagan. Jalen Boehner, the one in coverage. They spotted a yard shy.
You know, there's a ton of throws quarterbacks can make, but the ones that impress me the most are the ones that are outside of the numbers. That ball has to travel a significant amount of distance, and great job there, Pagan. Strong hands, and you ask this staff, who's the guy that you got to have in situations? Where's that ball going? It's Pagan. Pagan's the guy you hear about. Big play.
Already 5 catches in this game for Pagan. Quick snap on a 3rd down and a flag in. Brought down shy of the yards to gain. We'll check the penalty marker. Cal McNeil is our referee.
The result of play is short line of game, 4th down. During the play, personal foul, face mask, number 89, defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic, 1st down.
That's Hufi now, the defensive lineman for San Jose State.
You can see him get his left hand in there. And once you touch that bar, every guy's done it. Once you touch the bar, you got to open that hand up. And, hands up in the air. It was an accident. 15 yards, that's brutal.
Caught him. Would have been a 4th down. Instead, the ball to the 49.
Deliberation pre-snap here from Barnes.
They rush 3. Barnes steps up, unleashes. Pagan brings it in. Down at the 14. Got to step on Jalen Apollit-Williams, and Utah State in the red zone.
Okay, this is that eye candy we're talking about, Chris. In the backfield here, you get the fake, the play action. You get a little, footwork, fancy footwork here from Bryson Barnes, acting like he's going to go QB draw, and then again a busted coverage. It's a recurring theme tonight.
And Davis on a quick snap 1st down gets Soares to 12. Tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. That one turnover on downs inside the red zone, their only non-scoring trip. This is the type of game, Kyle, we expected from the onset. Big plays, huge scores. Second half has lived up to it so far. Utah State near the doorstep. Davis wiggles inside and gets to the 6-yard line, needed the 5. So it'll be 3rd down coming up.
One thing I like about Miles Davis, he keeps his shoulders square. He's always running towards the line of scrimmage. A whole lot of north and south from this guy, which is why you ask this staff, which one of these guys do you think you're going to see play on Sunday? They talk about Miles Davis as a guy with an opportunity.
High formation on 3rd and short. Play action. Barnes, corner end zone. Tight end lane, it's behind him. So an incomplete pass. Now it's 4th down and a couple.
They've gone to Brock Lane in the end zone a couple times. Both throws have been high, middle of the end zone on the other side of the field, and then here in the right side.
What do you do if you're Coach Mendenhall?
You know what? I think you got to make a statement here. Just like your defense has made a statement early, I think you got to go for this thing get yourself a fresh set of downs or score a touchdown here.
Already had 1 turnover on downs in the red zone in this game. 4th down and a couple. Barnes examines himself, leapfrogs, and has enough.
This is what we call changing the numbers, Chris. Keep the ball in the quarterback's hands. It makes it 11 on 11. It's a great job by Bryson Barnes converting, moving the sticks. Now you get a fresh set of downs here. Everybody breathes a little bit easier. Great job by Bryson Barnes. And I like the aggression there.
Aggressive Aggies have a 1st and goal. They bring in Noah White. Didn't see him much in the first half. He's the running back with a pistol set from Barnes. Option. White angles, dashes, and is driven down at the 2. Jalen Banner there on the San Jose State stop.
I'm never crazy about doing the pitches down here in the low red area. That's you know, it takes ball handling to the next step. When you're pitching the ball out there, particularly to a young guy like Noah White, you don't want the ball in the air with the potential of having the ball on the ground. I'd say keep the ball in Bryson Barnes' hands.
Lane Sturzer, both tight ends in. 2nd and goal. Barnes, crease, touchdown. And Kyle, you mentioned it. Keep the ball in the hands of Barnes, who has the nose for the end zone. His 7th rushing touchdown this season.
Not all quarterbacks are created equally physically, and this guy can run the football. Use your X-Men power down here. I mean, look, the defense is pretty much cheating with 11 guys on the field. If you hand the football off, it's 10 versus 11. You make it 11 on 11. That's mano-a-mano down there, Chris.
And Utah State, they counter the big play touchdown from San Jose State with a 10-play drive of their own. High snap handled by Rico, and Rinker delivers the extra points. This is the type of game we thought we'd come to Logan to see. Aerial strikes and touchdown punches. College football tomorrow on CBS Sports Network. Matching Central Michigan, Bowling Green, square off noon Eastern. Followed by Air Force and Wyoming, the Mountain West. That's at 3:30. San Jose State knows a little bit about Wyoming. Got out to a big lead in that game, 28-14 in the 4th quarter, but it slipped away. Braden Johnson, this pick 6. Such a huge play. That was after a do-over play. And then Caden Anderson, Charlie Cohn there. To go in front, it was Terran Kelman making people miss, refusing to go down to the outside. With 40 seconds left, Wyoming took the lead and had that comeback. Tough loss. In fact, Coach Ken Niumatalolo said in his nearly 2 decades of coaching, that was one of the toughest losses he's ever suffered.
The best thing that can happen after one of those games is getting another game quickly. And here we are on a Friday night with an opportunity to recoup your losses. It's always tough to lose football games in that way. The 4th quarter disparity is shocking, to say the least, Chris.
It was a game in which the first half, brilliant, especially offensively. Egan was rolling. But then he left the game in the 3rd quarter, came back with just 2 minutes left. Clearly still battling that shoulder. They could not get off the mat against Wyoming. Radcliffe, another 1st down march. This one gains 10. And the 1st down runs in this game for both teams have been effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to stay balanced as an offense for San Jose State. You can throw the football all day, but Scudero's banged up. You got to test the chin of this defense a little bit. I credit Craig Stutzman for pressing that run button again on 1st down.
On 1st, Radcliffe again, this time to the 39. Back-to-back tackles for Bronson Olivau Jr., the middle linebacker. Just joining us, San Jose State, one of the most prolific passing offenses in the country. They're top 10 in the nation in passing yards per game. Walker Egan has put together an incredible season. Coming in 13 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. His main target, Danny Scudero, leads the nation in yards and touchdowns. Well, Scudero's been kept quiet. 2nd down, 6 to go. Chavez Soto, who had the big touchdown run on the last drive of 66 yards, runs into John Miller. Hamblin comes in late. Third down and just a couple. So far in this third quarter, 3 drives combined, 3 touchdowns.
Two tight ends here on the right-hand side. They've handed off a number of times. Got 3 defenders over on the top side of the football field. There you go.
Chavez Soto, first down, San Jose State.
Change up the flavor a little bit, you know what I mean? This passing offense is flying at half-mast a little bit. With Scudero, their superhuman, do-everything receiver, he's been banged up, had some drops early in this game, late in last game. Well, they've had to kind of reinvent themselves a little bit as this game's gone on. It's nice to see.
So from your observation, are you seeing more Scudero, just not himself, or something Utah State is doing defensively?
Well, I feel like they're being physical. From the very jump of this football game, they got after Scudero. They kind of, as we said, they tested his gangster a little bit.
Russell Ford, Eget hit again as he throws out of bounds.
I mean, Walker Eget's been on the ground a dozen times this football game. They've had to pick Scudero. They've had to peel Scudero up off the turf. And here's in the first quarter, and our guy Ike Larson absolutely lighting him up early in the game, and you can see Noah Avenger hitting him as well. It's been physical. You can tell that was a point of emphasis coming into this game. Do not let him take over the football game. Make him know we're coming.
Well, he hasn't had that same impact. The San Jose State still within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Radcliffe in the Aggie territory at the 48. John Miller, who is the team's leading tackler coming in, second-year Aggie, gets the tackle there. Another third down for San Jose State. 6 for 10 on third downs.
Okay, we've seen some screen game in this down and distance. We saw it on the touchdown from San Jose State earlier. Now we're going empty. San Jose State's going empty. Got nobody on the top of the screen here. There we go. We got him covered up now.
Eget against a 4-man pressure, out pattern, right on target. Kyrie Scholes.
There's those balls outside the numbers. And that's what stuck out to me about Walker Eget when I first turned on the film to get ready for this game. This young man's got real strength with that fastball. And Scholes, what sticks out to me, he's got strong hands. He always seems to be in a good spot, a friendly spot, as they would say, for his quarterback.
It's funny, we talked to Eget yesterday. He said about Scholes, last year just didn't know the playbook, so couldn't really use him in that way. This year, not only does he know the plays, he can blend that with his natural instincts. Scudero gets a catch here, just his third of the game. He's getting the ball into the playmaker's hands to the 36. Gains 3. Ike Larson on the tackle. That's a fun matchup there. Larson, 2-time All-Mountain West. Scudero, nation's leading receiver. If you're just joining us, Larson was suspended for 7 weeks back in mid-August. Missed the first 5 games of the year for Utah State. Violation of team rules. He returned for the game against Hawaii. His season debut, new number, didn't even have the name on the back of his jersey. Second down. Chavez Soto. Wrestled down. Brevin Hamblin. Great job wrapping up around the ankles.
Overall, it's been a great job by this Utah State defense, making sure that they stop the bleeding, okay? We saw the tunnel screen to Scudero on the play before. He wasn't able to get anything going. Chavez Soto out on the outside. They bring him down hard and fast. That's what Bronco Mendenhall and this defensive staff preach. No freebies, no free yards, and they've done a great job of that tonight.
On the 10th play of the drive, Eget lasers, first down San Jose State. Cooper Hoke came into this game with just 3 catches. In this game, Hoke has been a playmaker. That's his second grab.
Eget getting his guys up on the ball. They want to keep their foot on the gas pedal here. Down 8 points. Opportunity to go put this thing back in the end zone. Got Scudero in the slot here on a 3-by-1 formation.
From the 21. Radcliffe changes directions on the cutback. Around the 17-yard line is where he's wrestled down by Olival.
I think both these teams have to understand, I think they do understand, controlling the pace of this game, because we've seen how quickly both these teams can score. When your offense is on the field, generate some of these first downs, 5-yard gains on first down, that's huge. Keep that other offense on the bench.
Another drive where there's double-digit plays. These are two big play offenses. You don't see many sustained drives throughout the year for these two. Scudero runs out of space. Taylor was the first one there, but Larson was in the area too.
Feels like usually Scudero's got a magnet for the football on him, but tonight it feels like he's got a magnet for defenders. Yes. Every time he touches the ball, they're going to him like crazy. This defense is swarming, and they're making his job really hard. He's obviously toughing it out tonight.
To him, he heads to the sideline on third down, usually his money down. Egan against the blitz, picked up, fires, corner, reach and grab, but incomplete. Leland Smith in the corner of the end zone. Noah Abinger in coverage.
Puts the ball only where his receiver can get it there on the outside, and almost a spectacular play from Leland Smith. He lined up in the slot, which we were told he's going to be doing in this football game more than he has before.
Let's take a look here. So there's the catch. That foot, though.
That toe's on the line. That toe is on the line.
Wouldn't be surprised the officials want to take a closer look. They will.
Now he's got the white and black cleats, okay, and that's something I want to point out here. That could be a bit tricky to the eye. And here's Leland. Does he have possession? Seems to have caught the football. It's going to come down to the foot. Get a better angle here, I'm sure. Here we go.
That toe, the front part of that fancy cleat.
Now he did seem to keep the football off the ground. He was able to trap that arm underneath the football. A little bit of a jostle on his way down.
That's probably incomplete, but not by much.
Yeah.
What an effort from Smith.
And a lot's going to be asked of this young man as this season rolls on. I mean, we're thinking about Danny Scudero and how tough he is and how productive he's been. You're going to need guys like Leland Smith to show up in a big way.
How about Walker Egan?
Yeah, Walker Egan likes the way it looks. So does Leland Smith. Come on, man. You see that catch, man?
After review, the ruling the incomplete pass is upheld. Fourth down.
So we saw it from here. It's not exactly what Egan saw. Had his Spartan-colored glasses he was looking through. But instead, it's fourth down, the field goal unit on. Again, the kicking game has been a nightmare for San Jose State this year. This is on the right hash, which means the lefty, Dennis Lynch, comes in to kick this field goal. Already made one from 36. This one is good. 2 for 2 on field goals. They did miss an extra point in this game, so it's a 5-point Utah State lead. Coming up next, heading to the studio, our Inside College Football crew breaks down tonight's action, looks ahead to the weekend right here on CBS Sports Network. Zach Aldridge will lead the group tonight. Third quarter of this game has been a roller coaster.
Bryson Barnes just showing off some arm strength here, going left, throwing right, and then you get your guy, Chavez Soto, with the haymaker on the linebacker, and then Bryson Barnes, do it yourself, big man, rock the baby, but be gentle.
Third quarter exceeding the scoring of the first half. Craig Stutzman likes what he sees from his offense. coordinating the spread and shred of San Jose State. The first 3 drives of the second half, touchdowns across the board. San Jose State just had to settle for a field goal. Davis will return this one. Heels on the goal line and races to the 20. Stutzman going over things with his quarterback. Wife Brianna named the spread and shred offense. Was going into last year, and he was talking with his wife saying, all right, this offense is either going to be off the chain really good or a complete disaster. So Brianna was like, all right, then you at least have to name it. What exactly goes into this offense?
So what are you trying to do with the offense?
We're going to spread them out, shred them. There you go. That's the name, the spread and shred. And it's stuck for a couple of seasons for the Spartans, and it's been effective. David Jacobs on first down. And the theme of this game, first down runs, both teams have had productive carries. That gains 10.
Tell you what, they've been running behind Brock Lane, and he's out there on the outside making a big block, number 87. Boom! Get out the club. No white tees in the club. That's what Brock Lane said.
Veteran. 40th game played.
He plays like it.
Yeah, 6th year at Utah State. Jacobs. And that time the San Jose State defense prevents that from getting back to the line of scrimmage.
So this San Jose State defensive front's a 3-man front. One thing you have to do when there's 3 guys on the defensive front, for those of you at home, you're used to seeing 4 down linemen. 3 down linemen, you got to play 2 gaps. Big time credit to this Spartan defensive front on that play.
Utah State does not have to snap this before the end of the third. They will not. End of the third quarter.
4's up.
24 points combined in the third. 14 of them scored by Utah State and Bryson Barnes. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky.
Let's go, boys. Let's finish strong here.
You don't want to put the baby to sleep just yet. Late night, Friday night game trends brought to you by Subway. Thanks for staying up late with us. Aggies on third down. It was a problem coming in. Spartan receiver Scudero, not much, but the rest of the crew have picked up the slack. Fourth quarter, 1-score game, and a throw to the flat for Jacobs from Bryson Barnes, who's a dual-threat Utah State standout. 2 of the most productive quarterbacks in the Mountain West meeting up. Third, that does pick up the first down. They do move the chains on the throw to Jacobs. So he stepped out a couple of steps past that marker. Both running backs in here, Jacobs and Davis. They do the option, and Barnes tries to navigate away, gets blasted. Jordan Pollard was the wall, wearing white for San Jose State.
What a play by Jordan Pollard as well. Great play design there by Utah State. Had the cameraman fooled a little bit. If he doesn't make that play, I think Barnes can make somebody miss. They love Pollard.
Linebacking group, a lot of experience. Returning members from a good unit a year ago. Josh Sturzer hit immediately to the sidelines. A few yards shy of the first. Jalen Thomas all over it.
Just felt very conservative there, throwing the ball over the sideline, that quick gain. That's not going to get you the first down, and now you're going against your arch nemesis. Third down here, Chris. Third and about 5, 3rd and 4 for Utah State. Interested to see what they do here. 2 backs in the backfield.
See the numbers for Barnes as a team, just 3 for 10 on third against a rush of just 3. So Barnes is all day. Examines, sees, runs, spins, and is dropped in the backfield for a loss. So it's a sack for Jordan Pollard. A three-man rush in the secondary held up for San Jose State.
That's the same type of action we saw earlier in the football game. Two running backs running straight to the sidelines. And if you watch Bryson Barnes, he has a little bit of a hesitation. He almost takes off with this thing. I think it would be an easy first down, but he stays with his progression. Obviously, the play breaks down. And now the Utah State Aggies are punting.
The fourth punt of the game for Rico. High kick, but not very deep. Fair catch 25. Jalen Thomas says there was contact, and the flag does come in. It's one of those where the punt wasn't very deep, so the coverage unit did not know that they were in the area where the football was.
Yeah, and oftentimes these returners, they pretend.
Kick catch interference, number 14 of the kicking team. 15 yards added in the spot, automatic first down.
So oftentimes these returners, when that ball is high and far, they step up to try to get that.
Here's your look. Right in the area. That's enough.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon. And by Kubota, your compact equipment provider.
The Bear River Range and the Wasatch Mountains no longer visible, but what an incredible time lapse. One of the most scenic stadiums in all of college football.
I'm a sucker for a time lapse.
I do wish I could still see those majestic mountains in the distance. Radcliffe, first down run on a San Jose State drive to try to take the lead. Two of the quarterbacks at the top of the Mountain West in touchdowns coming into this game, the head-to-head.
That guy right there, Barnes, with his ability to rush, just poses another threat to the defense, particularly in the red zone. He's been special there.
Now Egan came in banged up, shoulder injuries. Fought through it in this game. Same with his top target in Scudero. The rest of the receiving corps has picked up the slack. And Egan fires incomplete. Scholes stopped the route. And it's already third down for San Jose State.
So that's a feel thing. And we heard Walker Egan talk about his relationship with Kyrie Scholes and how it has grown. But the more football they play together, they're going to be on the same page right there. Scholes saw on. Egan obviously went downtown with it. And now you're looking at 3rd and 5. Third down, story of this game.
8 for 13. Only rush 4. Egan. Receiver falls and Larson nearly jumped it. But it's incomplete. Hit the ground. There is a flag down from the far sideline. Imagine the receiver hit the ground and Larson jumped right in front. There's 9 career interceptions coming in.
Holding, number 11, defense. 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That is Bryson Taylor for Utah State. So instead of getting off the field, the drive continues.
Yeah, you got that hand in there. Got to let go there. They're looking. When you're in all that space as one of these skill guys, DBs, receiver, you got no big guys hiding you. They can see what's going on out there.
Of course, looking for Scudero. Ball at the plus 45. Egan hunting deep. Leland Smith, one-on-one. Smith scores! The 6'4" junior from Houston. Big time play for the Spartans to take the lead.
That is big boy football from Leland Smith. You put this young man out on the outside and you say, just run. I'm going to throw it down there. You go make a play on the football. That's exactly what he does. That's what this San Jose State Spartan offense needs with Scudero banged up. Obviously, you can't just throw to Scholes. Leland Smith has been in a big spot, and they're going for 2 now.
Huge to go up 3. Where a field goal would only tie. Radcliffe, the running back. Spread it out. Smith in the slot near side. Going for two. Egan scrambles, looks high for Coleman. So it remains a 1-point game, 25-24. But Leland Smith, who won the slam dunk contest among San Jose State football players in a basketball game last year. He dunks on the defense to put the Spartans on top. Time now for the Geico play of the game. 45 yards, Egan to Smith.
Outside leverage, Leland Smith, he stacks that defender, makes his way on the inside. That's where size matters. Strong hands, and he had to get his boo back after the overturned drop there in the right side of the other end zone. Great job by Leland Smith. 4 receptions, 116 yards. Man, oh man.
Scudero held in check, and his buddy Smith, the biggest game of this season. From the arm of Egan, who's going over things with Stutzman. 3 plays, 60 yards. San Jose State, they have not won a road game this year. They've lost 6 of their last 7 road games dating back to last season. Jacobs lets that one fly. The Spartans have not won a game in Logan since 2007. Chance to change that with Kenya Montalolo's team. High scoring attack, a veteran defense. But Utah State will have something to say about it. They come in 500, 3-3. Losses in their last 2 games. 2 long travel trips at Vanderbilt and at Hawaii. They're in the islands in a short week. And the next game here at home, Barnes throws sideline, contested and knocked away. Incomplete with Jalen Thomas in coverage.
Got to give a lot of credit to both these football teams. Obviously, having to fight some of the demons they've faced with the way that they've lost football games, but they're both tough teams. Well coached. We're in for a treat here in the last 11 minutes of this football game, Chris.
Bronco Mendenhall top 5 amongst active coaches in career wins. This is Braden Pagan with a stiff arm right in front of Thomas. So those two have battled all night. Number 1 target and the top cornerback. 3rd down and short.
Got to go to Barnesy here. That's what I would think. That's what I'd be begging for if I'm in that offensive line. I'd be pointing at the ground. And when you point at the ground as an offensive lineman, that means run the football. I think that's what Utah State should do here. Put it in the hands of your captain. They're going under center here with the fullback.
So they play well in context. They do here to pick up the 1st down with Miles Davis from the traditional I. They got Bronco Mendenhall in our conversation yesterday. He said that is the emphasis for the team this week. We've played well in spurts throughout the year, but it's these big situations, 3rd down, end of half, in context, we have to execute.
That's what all the great teams do. Think about guys like Bill Belichick when he's with the Patriots. Nobody did situational football and prepared his guys better than him. Bronco, I sense a little bit of shades of that.
Fake the reverse. Barnes comfortable, steps up, penalty flag down. Running back Davis over his head, and there's another flag down in the secondary. So a lot to sort out here. It was Noah McNeil Franklin who was pressuring Barnes. 1 flag in the backfield and 1 in the secondary.
There are multiple fouls on each team. Holding, number 72, offense. Holding, number 29, defense. Those penalty offset. Replay 1st down.
Let's just do it again. Sloppy on both counts. We'll just run it back. When we used to have a bad play in practice, our coaches used to say Xerox, which means do it again, line it up the same, run it. That's what we get here. 1st down again for Utah State.
Think they'd run the same kind of action? Maybe keep it on the ground here. Jacobs, wow, a high snap. Jacobs does get it from Barnes, but the snap ruined the play. Jimmy Liston is the center. It was a good job by Barnes just to reel it in. Threw off the timing and a loss of 3.
Looking like Derek Jeter on a bad hop over there, able to get his hands up and get that football. It's one thing you take for granted is that they got to catch the football at the start of every play. Fantastic job by Barnes getting that thing corralled.
Brought up Jeter. I saw the line today from Shohei Ohtani.
Oh my goodness.
He pitches, 10 strikeouts, hits 3 home runs. Speaking of dual threats, Barnes slings and lane up at the 41. Jalen Thomas stops him. This is a 3rd down and perhaps the most important one of the game for Utah State. Under 10 minutes left.
And a big one, and even more dangerous because you're longer than 3rd and 6. So that San Jose State Spartan defense, they got the playbook open for them. Can't let Bryson Barnes be the guy to scramble here for the 1st down, though.
They come with a blitz. Barnes slips out of it, sets his feet, flagged down and lane through his hands. With Larry Turner Gooden in coverage, and there's another flag. So again, with 2 penalty markers in, 1 in the secondary, 1 in the backfield. Could be another duo.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on each team.
Xerox.
Holding, number 62, offense. Pass interference, number 33, defense. Those penalties offside. Replay 3rd down.
Free football.
Many times in the backyard with your brother, you'd have these do-overs.
A lot of do-overs.
Matches that you would have, I don't even know, wrestling, football, whatever you guys.
My dad didn't call a lot of penalties in the backyard.
I didn't think so. 3rd down again. Barnes pirouettes, backpedals, flings, has an open target. Brady Boyd to the sideline. Fancy footwork in the backfield for Barnes. Sets it up for Boyd with Boehner in coverage. The killer bees across the board.
Dancing with the stars action back there. Fancy footwork and the sling across the field. Fantastic job by Bryson Barnes. Able to keep his eyes downfield. That's fantastic.
Field goal gives Utah State the lead. Davis wants more than that. Lowers the shoulder and is finally thrown down inside the 30. Pickup of 13.
Here you go, Barnes. Spin out, and our guy Veely is just like, hey, you're not supposed to move that way. Fantastic football, and the catch there. Little to no real estate.
Davis again. Tough to bring down. Keeps those legs churning with 8:30 to go in the final quarter. No?
That's it, 8:30 to go. That clock's ticking, and you want to control that clock. And oftentimes as we approach the end of these football games, it's not about time of possession, it's number of possessions left in the football game. So interesting to see how they're going to control this clock here. I think you try to get down there and score as quickly as you can. A lot of 3 timeouts for both these football teams.
We still have a lot of possessions left in this one. Barnes on the rollout. Will tuck it and run. Keeps the ball tucked inside the 20. Daniela Latu, the captain, on the tackle, but the quarterback kept on marching a yard shy of the first. It's a career high in passing for Barnes, 326. Well, he always possesses this.
The thing that impresses me is he's taking care of the football. I mean, yeah, he's holding it like a loaf of bread when I'm doting on him for taking care of it. But when he hits the turf, he's always got that thing attached to his chest. That's the most important thing. Live to play another down. Stay on offense.
Bronco Mendenhall takes a timeout before a 3rd and 1.
Timeout, Utah State. The first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Some of those big guys are walking kind of tired, Chris. We got to get some oxygen in their lungs. We're at 5,000 feet, man. You got to look out for the biggins because that's what's going to carry you for the 1st down here. 3rd and 1. It's been an issue for this football team. Get some air in their lungs. Let them get an opportunity. 8 for 13 on 3rd down.
Of course, it's San Jose State coming off of a game at Laramie, 7,220 feet. And they have another altitude game. This conference will give you those tests.
I wonder if they give them those oxygen bottles over there.
Whatever you need to do. The pickle juice, I've heard that has been helpful over the years.
Guy.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
I go to my fridge at 10 o'clock sometimes, crack that thing open, take a good slurp of the pickle juice.
Wouldn't have thought any different.
My wife comes downstairs. She's like, why are the pickles so dry? I was thirsty, babe.
All right, so this is key here. 3rd down and 1. San Jose State was showing blitz before the last play. Do they blitz here on 3rd and short? They come with pressure. Barnes sees and zooms for the first, but a flag down, and it hits Trey Anderson. The umpire throws the penalty flag.
That's never good.
And Anderson, took the worst of it. They pick up the first, but will it stand?
Behind big
Holding,
George.
number 62, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. 3-3rd down.
So Junior Sia, so that's big. Instead of a 1st down inside the red zone, it's a 3rd and long.
And that really killed a great pull by George Miley, who came across the formation and made a big block. You can see him. He's taking him for a ride there. That's what you want to see on 3rd down. Not laundry.
So where do you go to here? A passing game that has struggled all season long on 3rd downs. You're within field goal range, granted a long one. A field goal puts your team in front. 3rd and 11, a draw. Barnes, no space. Finally driven to the ground. Noah Sione.
That's a conservative play call. Worst case scenario, you get tackled at the line of scrimmage, you hold on to the football, you live to kick a field goal. Best case scenario, Barnes makes somebody miss, miraculously gets a 1st down, but now this kicking game, very important.
And not a gimme for Rinker, who has not missed this season, but just 5 attempts. From the 36 will be a 46, we'll call it 45 for now, yard field goal. Clean snap, kick up, and Rinker. Cash in the Cache Valley to put Utah State in front. So a safe play call on 3rd down to set up the distance field goal, and Rinker, the junior, Castle Rock, Colorado, through the mountain air. CBS Sports Network presented by Old College Football on CBS Sports Network presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Homecoming at Utah State. It has been fun for the fans in Logan. Close game. Not much separation throughout. Final 6 and change coming up. Utah State Rinker field goal from 46 to put the team in front. San Jose State will have a chance to counter. 11-play, 48-yard drive. But the key, they had a 3rd down and 1, picked it up. But instead of the conversion, it was a holding penalty, marked it back. So instead of a chance at a touchdown, they got just 3 points. Robbins kicks off. Johnson sees that go out of the end zone and the sideline through the end zone instead of it being the sideline before the end zone. That's a difference in field position of 10 yards.
That's that 2 miles per hour of wind in this Logan night sky that helped out that football a little bit. Without it, who knows?
All right, so something to keep in mind as you see the close games. Utah State and San Jose State all year, it's been 1-score games. But the Spartans' field goal kicking has been a disaster this year. It's a 2-point game. A field goal puts you in front, but do you have confidence, no matter how close you are, to even attempt it? Scudero, another drop. Struggles continue. The last 3 halves for Scudero has not been the same player who was and still is the nation's leader in receptions and yards and touchdowns.
Speaking of confidence, I mean, there's nobody that should have more confidence on this San Jose State roster than Danny Scudero, and he's just had a rough go at it from a physical standpoint. And you can see they've tried to get him the football, but it's been tough sledding tonight for him.
Came in questionable with a shoulder injury. 2nd down, Egan, comeback route, and Coleman is wrestled down. So Coleman doesn't get much after the catch. Brevin Hamblin stopped him. 3rd down and medium to long distance for the offense of the Spartans. Call it a 3rd and 6.
Got Leland Smith in the slot. The safeties are up.
From the 29, Egan. Yes, sir, on the out to Scholes. And that gains enough for a new set of downs for San Jose State. Pick up 9 with Mays in coverage.
We've seen Walker Egan settle in to playing quarterback this evening. At the beginning of this football game, we know he's dealing with a shoulder as well. We saw that football sail a couple times. He's been on target, particularly to Scholes outside the numbers.
How much are you looking at the clock here if you're San Jose State, trying to make this possession perhaps the last possession? Egan all day, deep ball, receiver with a step, but it's deflected. Scudero was ahead of the pack, but Taylor did just enough. He was the one to knock it and nearly had the pick.
Yeah, I don't count very well, Chris, but I'm thinking it's about 3 or 4 of these balls that could have come down in Utah State's hands. And just another missed opportunity for that Utah State secondary. That's one they'll want to have back. Second down here. Could have been a massive, massive play.
See right there, Scudero, half of his usual production. We're late in the 4th. On second, 3-man pressure. Egan goes through the progressions and finds Colbin. And the Utah State defense surrounds him quickly. Again, not much after the catch. Mays there first, Miller joins, and it's 3rd.
Had Scudero there at the bottom of the screen. He flipped his hips at about 8 yards and showed Egan his eyes, but Egan was already on the right side of the football field with his. Big 3rd down. Wonder what kind of pressure they're going to bring here for Utah State. They've been lighting up Walker all night.
It's just 4 that come on the pressure. Scudero's blasted, and there is the flag. He spotted a yard shy of the first, but Larson, the big playmaker on Utah State's defense with the hits that could be targeting. And Scudero, for the 3rd time in this game, is down on the field after a hit.
Personal foul, targeting, number 18, defense. 15-yard added to the end of the line, automatic first down. The previous play is under further review.
So, of course, targeting always reviewed. Larson, if this is confirmed, and you have to confirm targeting, all the factors, all the elements, it would be a first down, and Larson would be out the first half of next week. But we'll take our looks at it.
You know, this really seems to me like it's one of those situations where playing defense is very, very hard in the year 2025. I think that's just a real physical play by Ike Larson coming downhill.
All right, so I'll go through the mechanics here. Defenseless player is an indicator, and clearly he's defenseless. He just made the catch. Now you're looking at launching or use of the crown of the helmet.
What I saw was leading with the shoulder. Obviously, you know the rules better than I do, but it didn't look to be malicious intent. Obviously, everything on a field is malicious intent. It didn't seem to be dirty from me, from my perspective.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. 4th down.
And you were all over it, Kyle.
And there's only a, gosh, it's such a lonely place to be with your back on the turf.
So it's 4th down now. As big of a play as that was to keep Larson in the game, that play also means that the receiver was short of the sticks. So right there, that hit, not only clean, but crucial. So now it's 4th down and 1. Boy, is Utah State glad to have Larson back.
They've got Chavez Soto in the football game. He's the short yardage guy. He had a big explosive touchdown earlier in the football game.
4th and 1. Chavez Soto turns the legs. It depends on the spot, but it looks short. The Aggies elated. The officials still have not given the clear signal.
Walker Egan is adamant about the fact that this was a first down. Obviously, we're going to find out here shortly.
There it is, rolled short. Utah State Aggies on homecoming. Give them the microphone.
Now this thing ain't over yet. They got to get a couple first downs. Chris, what a fantastic football game and a stop there by that Utah State defense. You got to swell up in the biggest moments. And what did Bronco talk about? He talked about playing well in context. That is a big-time context moment, situational football. You and I knew where it was going. It went there, and they made the stop.
John Miller was first. He broke through, but it was Brevin Hamlin who made the final play. Again, with a running back, stocky, 6 foot, 200 pounds, churning the legs. Could not do it enough. Now this rowdy crowd in Logan wants their team to close it out. San Jose State, you called it, Kyle. 3 timeouts left. And Davis on first down to carry. Takes a village to bring him down. Gain of a couple.
Now we're going to find out how much gas is in the tank for this San Jose State defense. How many more big plays do they have up their sleeve? And obviously with a guy like Bryson Barnes, anything's possible for Utah State's offense. He's been a magician at times. You got to make some great plays. I'm looking at 45. Our guy Vili Taufatofua over there. He's built like a creative player. This is where you got to make a big play for your defense.
Right there in the middle. They did not use a timeout after first down. Davis seam, first down and more to the 30. Jalen Williams on the tackle, but it's late. Utah State gets a new set of downs with 2:41 and ticking.
That was a violent action at the line of scrimmage, and there was some beating and banging. We'll take a look at the replay here. Fantastic job just washing that line of scrimmage laterally, giving that open lane.
How surprised are you that San Jose State still hasn't used one of their 3 timeouts left yet? Remember, they do have the 2-minute timeout coming up in about 15 seconds. They go with the end around with Braden Pagan, so they were getting a lot of yards going forward, north and south. They try to go off edge, and Justin Stearns puts a stop to it for a loss of 1. There's the first Spartan timeout. Oh, and a loss of a couple there. So Utah State running the football well. Instead, they try a sweep to Pagan. So here it is, 2nd and 12. San Jose State still has 2 timeouts to stop the clock, plus the 2-minute timeout. And it's interesting, you're in a part of the field where you're Utah State. How close do you get to the first down before it's, hey, I would probably go for it on 4th down versus kicking a field goal to turn a 2-point game into a 5-point game. There's a lot of going on here, decisions to be made.
And with the way that offense is built, we've talked about it all night. Bryson Barnes is an X factor in these short yardage situations. And he's been fantastic with his decisions, when to keep, when to run. It's been impressive all night.
2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and Jacobs the back after the timeout. 2nd down, 12 to go. There's the run from the quarterback, Barnes, who is knocked down shy of the first down at the 6-yard, at the 24. It's a pickup of 8. Isaiah Rivas on the stop, and a timeout with 2:04.
And a big-time block from their tight end, Brock Lane. Again, this young man continues to show up, and I promise you, if this Utah State Aggie football team finds their way into the end zone again, or if these numbers hit 000, tomorrow in the meeting, Bronco Mendenhall will put the laser pointer on that young man and say, that's culture right there.
Indeed. So, all right, timeout, San Jose State, 3rd and 3. Let's say Utah State runs the ball. They get 1 or 2, not enough for the first. Is this a position where you would go for it on 4th down and try to ice this game out?
I feel like bully ball is kind of what Bronco Mendenhall is about, and that's what I've seen from the defense. I've seen it from their quarterback, Barnes. Got to have it situations. You have to put confidence in your group. When the coach gives you the green light, that's when you go get it. There's a block there. Everybody's pitching in that running game.
3rd down, 3 to go. Jacob spins, stood up, well shy. At that, he loses a couple.
Oh, man.
So that is your 2-minute timeout. A minute 58 left.
Timeout on the field.
Solomone Langi and Quincy Licchio combine on the stop there. So 4th down and 4. And the kicker, Tanner Rinker's getting loose. Still some drama left in Logan. Tonight's player of the game brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. A career high in passing for Bryson Barnes. It's Anthony Garcia who had the big play through the air, and of course the wheels of Barnes never leaves. Rocking the baby and hoping to put San Jose State to sleep. But his unit could not run out the entirety of the clock, and now Tanner Rinker comes in for the field goal here. He's 2 for 2 in this game, has not missed, 6 for 6 so far this season. Will be a 44-yarder. Rinker goes through. So it turns a 2-point lead into a 5-point lead, which takes the field goal off the board for San Jose State in the ensuing drive. But Coach Ken Niumatalolo's team will sign up for having the football, their dynamic offense. 1 timeout left in a minute 53. And really there was no decision to be made after they lost a couple of yards on 3rd down. They picked up a couple. It was 4th and 1 or 2. Maybe you try to go for it to ice out the game, but losing a couple, the decision was made.
Got to take the punts. It's not it's not a deliberation. I mean, that's a field goal. And if you're San Jose State here, obviously you missed the 2-point conversion, you missed the PAT earlier on in the game. So that's 3 points. It would be 28-30 here with an opportunity to kick a game-winning field goal. But I almost feel like there's a bit of comfort knowing you got to score a touchdown.
Yes.
6 points can get you down there and win the football game. Got 1 timeout left. We're going to find out Walker Egan's best shot here for San Jose State.
Kickoff from Robbins. Johnson returns from the goal line. Jahari Johnson had a 98-yard return against Wyoming last week. Not so much. Inside the 20. So now it's Walker Egan, Danny Scudero, the nation's leading receiver, and the rest of the San Jose State offense with 1 timeout in a minute 48. Games decided by 1 possession. You can see 5 of their 6 games this season have been 1-score games. Spread it out with a spread and shred offense. Egan, quick toss, and Taylor's all over it from Scudero. A pickup of 5. Clock moves, a minute 40 and ticking. Scudero, his 6th grab, but just 20 yards. Again, empty set on 2nd. Egan, Kanan. That is enough with forward progress to move the chains. Olavawa on the tackle. So the clock will stop as they reset. Then we'll start again with a minute 21. San Jose State looking for their first win in Logan, Utah since 2007. It's a 2-1 in the Mountain West. Egan, plenty of time, runs out of it, but makes an impressive move on Iniguez to the sideline and incomplete.
It's unacceptable to give up pressure on a 3-man rush in a 2-minute situation. The job for your quarterback is hard enough. You rush 3, that means there's 8 guys playing defense on the back end. You know your quarterback's got to find the perfect spot. You cannot afford to allow pressure. It's 1 drive for the rest of your life. Find a way to get your guy blocked.
That's all-pro offensive lineman Kyle Long. 2nd down. Spread offense is their normal offense. And a flag down before the play indicating movement on the offensive line. Pacetti Lapuaho on that left side. We'll see if he's the guilty party.
False start, number 79, offense. 5-yard penalty, and 9 second down.
So you get to Walker Egan with 3. Then you add another rusher. Things become even more chaotic. This crowd starts to become a factor. Your fatigue is weighing in.
Over 22,000 on hand. Loud as they've been all game. 2nd and 15. Egan's guns. It is caught on the comeback route, running out of space. Scholes. Leland make that Kyrie Scholes on the catch, the junior from Vegas. Not enough from the first, so the clock continues to move under 50 seconds.
Leland Smith was there looking for the hook and lateral. He would have been gone for the touchdown, but they didn't see it in the moment.
You gotta hurry. You still have 1 timeout. Set before third. The clock was moving on a procedure penalty, and San Jose State might have to use their timeout here to avoid the 10-second runoff. Yeah, this would come with a 10-second runoff if it's against San Jose State.
False start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, remain 3rd down. San Jose State has elected to take a timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff.
So there you go. You just heard it from Cal McNeil. They used the timeout to avoid the runoff, but now the odds have certainly dropped for Coach Ken Niumatalolo's team. That last play, you called it, Kyle, was a designed hook and ladder to get Smith the football.
Yeah, and you get the 3-man rush. They're running games. You got time. The play develops. He's able to connect with Scholes, and then you can see Leland Smith run right underneath of him. He was anticipating the football. I give him credit, but obviously Scholes trying to maintain possession and get north and south.
So at this point, it's basically 1st down or sideline. Going forward here without any timeouts if you're San Jose State, needing to get into the end zone with just 34 seconds left.
Sideline is your friend. Shout out to Matt Nagy. He always used to tell me that. And our offense, when we're in these 2-minute modes, got to get out of bounds or in the end zone. Either of those things work.
3rd down and 9.
When Mo Bamba comes on, you know it's getting serious. You can see that picket fence of 3rd-level defenders for Utah State. They're going to keep everything in front of them. Somebody's going to have to make somebody miss after a short catch.
Need to get to the 38. 3-man rush. Egan with wheels. Eyes down the field. Gets rid of it right at the sidelines and the sticks to Coleman.
Ooh, did he get it?
They say incomplete. He had enough space to make the catch by the sideline, but instead it's 4th down and 9.
And I almost felt like Walker Egan had an opportunity to run that thing. You get bad rush lane integrity. Defensive end went inside, opens the whole sideline up. Now it's 4th down. This is the ball game here.
Yeah, he elevated the feet before he touched the football.
He did.
So now it's 4th and ball game. Play clock late. They get it off with just 1. 5 in the pattern. Egan scrambles, needs to get rid of it, and does across the body. They convert, and more with Scholes inside Aggie territory on 4th and 9. That'll stop the clock with 18 seconds as they move the chains. Then it will reset. Will the Spartan spike? They do. With 15. Big time. Egan to Scholes when they need it. They get 26.
Scholes, we've been talking about him all night. Strong hands, and obviously another one of those guys that Walker Egan can count on in the passing game. It's been a heavy dose of Scudero all season. They've had to rely on some other guys.
Well, at least at this point, San Jose State's within reason for a Hail Mary to the end zone if they need it. Still with time to get closer. Only a rush of 2. Whistles. We'll stop this before it gets started.
Oh, we got some action here. Hey, keep your hands to yourself. No costly penalty.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Utah State. The second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
We had Sione Namani down there who hemmed up one of these defensive linemen after the play. He said, hey, buddy, the whistle blew. Quit rushing me. That could have been very, very costly for San Jose State. He's really lucky the official that was sitting right next to him didn't call it.
So instead, it's no play. You're right, mistakes this point of the game. Both of these teams have been on the wrong side of those in their close games. Coach Mendenhall's been a part of a lot of these games over his years. Top 5 amongst active coaches in career wins. This is what you were talking about.
You push
Kyle.
me, I push you. I hold your hand. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to push you. Get away from me. Pull your jersey down. I don't want to see that.
To be fair, that was a whole lot of nothing. So glad the officials kept the flag in the pocket.
Well, that's way after the play, Chris. Can't afford that at this point in the game.
In a game in which Danny Scudero has just 6 catches for 25 yards as he had one more big play in him, the nation's leading receiver for San Jose State. Team down 5, 15 seconds left. Again, a penalty marker before a play. And a false start on San Jose State.
False start, number 4, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
The receiver Scholes who made the big play to keep this drive alive. Couldn't have asked for any more homecoming at Utah State. They've been treated to a gem. 15 seconds away from a homecoming win. Ball back to midfield. Egan's steps up, unleashes. Smith is there. Smith lost it out of bounds. He had it for a beat, but knocked away as Noah Avinger made it tough with 7 seconds left.
Avinger has been everywhere tonight. He has been laying guys out, and obviously in one of the biggest moments in the football game against a physical mismatch, going in there, getting that football out. I mean, these guys fly around. They close space. Things look open, and then they ate.
3rd down, and Utah State, as Egan thought for a second that was a catch, playing in their prevent here. So potential.
You get 2 opportunities here if you do this thing the right way.
Get some yards here and set up a final Hail Mary. Egan does exactly that.
Lay a block, get an extra couple yards, get out of bounds.
Coleman does get to the sideline, so it's 4th down. You're closer now. You can get the ball elevated in the air and into the end zone. The final Hail Mary look for San Jose State. Mountain West Mayhem. Late nights in Logan. Timeout called, Aggies.
Now, usually, if we call this 3rd or 2nd or 1st down, you'd have the opportunity with 4 seconds to go a quick hitter. If it's not there, dirt that thing. But 4th down, 4 seconds left. This is it. This is the ball game right here. For Walker Egan, they're going to have to put the football in their best player's hands. That's their quarterback, Egan. Going to have to make some magic. We saw some magic on Thursday, didn't we?
Indeed. Now, Kyle Leland-Smith is 6'4". He's the one who just nearly made the grab inside the 5 on the previous play. You have to imagine Hail Mary situation. He is the target.
So oftentimes in these Hail Marys, you get the tip guy and you get the catch guy. There's the scrum of people that jump up for the football and they tell defenders knock it down. And oftentimes these receivers, they try to tip it up and there's a guy hiding back there waiting for that football to drop into his hands. Interested to see who that guy is for San Jose State.
4th down and ball game. 5 seconds left, down 5, San Jose State. Egan against a 4-man rush, floats it to the end zone. Sea of bodies there, it's knocked away. Utah State survives. A homecoming to remember for the fans at Utah State. Two of the most experienced and accomplished coaches in this league meet. They give a thriller on a Friday night. It seems like this conference gives you these each and every night.
I love this conference, man.
Of the season. Whether it's Friday night, Saturday night, you get some thrillers. And Utah State does just enough to get over the 500 mark. 4-3 and 2-1 in conference. And it's another one-possession loss for Walker Egan and San Jose State. The final Hail Mary look. And it was Brevin Hamblin.
Unselfish play, knocking the football down.
Hamblin, the junior from Syracuse, Utah, filled in for Ike Larson at the beginning of the season valiantly. Even with Larson's return, has remained in the mix in the secondary. Yeah, knocks it away. Updated Mountain West standings. Got some great ones coming up tomorrow in this conference, or depending on where you are, later today. Utah State now 2-1. San Jose State falls to 1-2. You have UNLV and Boise State squaring off tomorrow in Boise. Kyle, this was a pleasure, man.
So much fun, Chris. Let's do this again sometime.
This is a great one. Logan, great host. Kyle Long and our entire CBS crew. I'm Chris Lewis. Good night from Logan, Utah. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Let's go back to Zach in the studio.